Welcome to the channel, to this 3,000 point battle report between the forces of Chaos and the Imperium, and today there are 5 Primarchs on the battle grid. Down in this corner is the Primarch Guilliman, and he'll be leading my Space Marine chapter, known as the 13th. And here is Lionel Johnson, along with my successor Dark Angel's force. I'll be commanding the Lion and Guilliman, 3,000 points of Imperial forces. Then over here we have Angron. There's a unit of World Eaters inside that Rhino and a unit of World Eaters in Strategic Reserve. Then we have all the smelly Death Guard, led by Mortarion. And then down in this corner of the battle grid, we have Magnus the Red, and of course a unit of Risen Rubikai that are already very close to my lines. 3,000 points of Chaos, led by the Master of Disaster, Stylus. Say hi, Stylus.
Hi, Stylus.
So, how is this going to go? I have no idea.
I tell you what, I've got a big clipboard this time.
You've got
it was a 6-sheeter.
A six-sheeter.
There are 3 codices, 3 Primarchs. There's lots of rules flying around the place.
And you're not going to make any mistakes whatsoever.
This is 3D chess, easy.
Right, so what are we playing today? This is a massive open war game. So in open war, you don't use the balanced data slate because, let's face it, none of our armies actually, well, they do fit the Force Org, but you couldn't really bring them in this way. So the balanced data slate is not in operation. One of the things that is in operation is all the special things that every single one of these Primarchs can do. And what are we playing? We're playing a last Primarch standing. We're going to keep going until there's only one left stood. And Angron has the ability to get back up again, but so does Guilliman have the ability to get back up again as well. So that kind of balances itself out. And the battle mat is brought to you by urbanmats.com. All these chunky bits of scenery that you can see are also from urbanmats.com. The remaining things on the table are either DW or scratch built stuff. One more thing, last Primarch standing will kick in at the end of a battle round, so that there is a potential for a draw here because the 2 last remaining Primarchs could die during the phases of the last battle round. Hopefully it's not going to be a draw. Hopefully the Lion or Guilliman will stand victorious at the end. Anyway, let's have a close look at these armies. Here is my 3,000 points. Let's go in for a better close-up. We have the Lion, Lionel Johnson, gloriously painted by me. He's okay, I did an okay job. But more importantly, the Dark Angels are gloriously painted to level 4 painting standard by Den of Imagination Painting Studios. Thank you very much, Den. Dark Angels, if I stand still, I get +1 to hit, and it's all Deathwing. So they also are fearless. And this is not batch play, so we're not using the balanced data slate, so they do have transhuman as well. What have I got? Well, 5 Blade Guard and 30 Terminators, which will probably gonna combat squad up. We have spent, well, CPs are free in this game because what we're going to do is each of this is going to have 6 CPs each, and we're going to get a CP a turn every turn, regardless of Force Org or what we've brought along. So there is a mastercrafted hammer on this guy here. That's the way I normally run him. And the green hoods are all the sergeants. But yeah, lots of Dark Angel Terminators chonking up the table. Then over on this side, leading the 13th. And today for the 13th, their successor chapter traits and things are going to be re-rolling a hit roll with Master Artisans and also give them Whirlwind of Rage. That means when they charge or are charged, 6s explode because there's going to be a lot of close combat punching in this game. The advantage I have over the forces of Chaos is the Emperor is on my side. The other advantage that I have over the forces of Chaos is my characters are 9 wounds or less. So I can hide them in a bunch of units down here and not get shot at. Unlike the forces of Chaos, who have big, nasty Primarchs who could probably be targeted by all my multi-melters and my land speeder Typhoons and things like that. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the bad guys. So we're not using the balanced data slate. We want to see everyone at their full effect. So also the other thing that we're doing is everyone gets a Warlord trait. We want to see the Primarchs hurt as much as they can, bring as much pain as they want to. And also contagions is still a thing. All the things that you normally can't do when you ally up, we can do in this. We want to see it as chonky as possible. So over here, we have Angron and the World Eaters. Talk me through what you got, Stylus.
Okay, we have Angron. We will say the overview of this is you have nice, sensible 1500 point lists. I have basically massive Primarchs and their entourage. So we have 8 Berserkers.
Yes.
8 more Berserkers. They've got the icons and choppy weapons.
Yes.
Rhino to ride one of them round in. And then we have the Master of Executions. I wanted the lowest ranking character to lead the patrol because they're the stars. So he is the Master of Executions. He has got the Helm of Brazen Ire, which makes it a bit harder to wound.
I like it. I like the guys that these are on red snow. The Thousand Suns are on nice clean snow. And then over here we have green stinky snow.
Absolutely.
For Nurgle. So over here with Mortarion and the Death Guard.
With Mortarion, again, following the theme of the lowest possible. This is a Death Guard Chaos Lord with just a Power Axe to lead them.
Yes.
Then again, 7 Plague Marines, Plasma, Flail at the back, and the champion's got a Power Fist and a Plasma.
Yes.
Mortarion's former bodyguard, the 3 Death Shroud Terminators there.
Okay.
Some Demon Engines for a bit of firepower, so 2 Plague Burst Crawlers and a Mephitic Blight Hauler.
Okay, and Mortarion has got his Warlord traits. The one that means when you get within 9 inches, there's no re-rolls.
Indeed.
When you get within 3 inches, he turns off all auras. He's revoltingly resilient and all that sort of stuff.
All that good stuff.
Angron's got his Warlord trait as well to turn off obsec and things.
Pretty useless.
Need to do that. Well, he can also point at a unit that says you can't fall back.
Oh yeah, they're all. Oh yes, that's true. And they're all lords of their respectives. So they can point at units or themselves and make them re-roll hits and that kind of stuff.
And then in the middle, the worst one,
the star of the show,
is
I'm not biased, but I'm going to favour one of them. So Magnus himself. So I've gone easy on you because I've picked the unluckiest sorcerer in the Court of Miracles. This is Guron the Unfavoured.
Okay.
He's an exalted sorcerer. He's got the Athanasian scrolls which will help him cast a little bit. I should have pointed out this guy's got the Plague Skull of Glothodai, which is a mortal wound grenade.
Once per battle grenade
Lobs
bomb.
that in.
Yeah.
Again, 9 Rubric Marines, 5 Scarab Occult Terminators, and then Magnus himself, who again has all the powers. He's harder to damage. He has he can reroll, doesn't reroll failed, dispels, doesn't take perils with warp, all the good stuff, and he knows all the spells.
All the spells. How many spells is that?
About 18.
About 18
plus his Mega Smite. He knows all. He can't cast them all at once, but he can have a good try.
So everyone's got their Warlord traits. Everyone's got their Legion specific stuff. Everyone is pimped up to the max for this Primarch on Primarch battle. Right, we're deployed. I don't have anything in reserve. There's a unit of World Eaters outflanking in reserve. There's some Risen Rubikai over there. Regardless of all of these shenanigans, you still have 6 CP. I still have 6 CP. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're not worrying about any of the changes in the balanced data sleep. We're just going to go with the full codex and the full things that our books allow us to do. And everyone's got a Warlord trait. And the winner of the roll-off can choose whether they want to go first or second. Do you want first turn?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay. After you, sir.
Good luck.
The Forces of Chaos roll a 2. The good guys roll a 2. Another 2. I've rolled a 4.
Change dice, that was my favorite.
That's I've rolled a 4.
Mistake.
I think. See, the thing about Imperium going first is I'll be closer to you because I know Magnus can move a very long way.
Can, yeah.
Angron's got a movement value of 16 or something. Mind you, I do really want to shoot you. So let's go on to the Imperium, turn 1. Okay, here we are after my movement phase. A couple of things. One, Guilliman gives you 3 CP at the start of the game. So with the 1 CP that I gain at the start of the battle round, I'm up to 10. We're saying that we're doing everything. We want to bring all the powers that the Primarchs have into effect. So yeah, extra CP for me, which is lovely. I have combat squadded every single one of the Terminators over here. And except for this unit, they all stood still because Magnus is very quick. Mortarion is very quick. Let's try and get some firepower in them as much as I can. And over here, there is some movement for the 13th. Lining up this unit of multi-melter attack bikes and the Typhoons. And we're going to shoot at Angron. Here's the multi-melters from the attack bikes into Angry Boy, hitting on 3s, and I can re-roll one of them because of Master Artisans, and that was a 2. These are 3s to wound, and everything wounds. Angron needs to make 4+ invulnerable saves. Ooh. And he makes 4 of them. And takes 4 damage. Now let's do the bolters, which hit on 3s and wound on 5s, but he has 2 up saves.
Oh, Angron.
Takes 2 more wounds. So he's on 12 remaining. Now the Typhoons are going to unload into him, except this one, which can't see him. This one down here has to shoot over at Mortarion. But here are the Cyclone missile launchers, which will hit on 3s. With a reroll for Master Artisans. Wounding Angry Boy on 3s. Yes. And he make the 4-up save. Here's the Heavy Bolters. 3s, 5s. And these will be an invulnerable save as well, because the Devastator Doctrine. And that's 2 more damage.
Down to 10 left.
Down to 10, that's a good start. Let's fire a couple of missiles in at Mortarion with the other one, which will hit Mortarion on 3s, but this will wound him on 4s because he's a tough boy and nothing gets through. Heavy bolters? 5s? No. All right, that's the shooting from that flank. Now we're coming across to this flank where I've got 2, 4, 6 Cyclone missile launchers, which stood still, Stylus.
That's nice.
So they're hitting on 2s.
Lovely.
Who's your favourite Primarch?
Magnus.
Let's shoot Magnus. This unit. Hit on 2s. And your toughness, what now?
7.
3s to wound is 3 wounds.
That's 1 comes through.
Okay, does he reduce
I
any
will
damage?
reduce damage by 1
Do
when
you?
it comes in.
How about 6 damage? So he's on 13 remaining. Now I'm going to do these missiles, 2 shots each, so 8 shots. And because I'm next to the lion, I get to reroll 1s. So 2s to hit.
Who's your favourite Primarch?
Reroll 1s. Constantine Valdor. Everything hits. And then these are 3s to wound, right?
They are.
Against Magnus. It's 5 wounds. That's what I'm calling a good start.
4-up saves.
Ooh, you make 3 of them, so only 2 go through. Command point at all?
You've got any more shots to come? This is the last of the big
That'll actually be the last thing from this army that can shoot you.
Magnus is worth the command point.
No, he's not.
I wouldn't have done it.
He's not, though.
No, he's not.
Definitely not. 2d6 damage coming up. Look at that! Boxcars! So that becomes 5 and 5.
That's 10, so he's down to 3 wounds left.
Nice. That's the end of an incredible shooting phase from the forces of the Imperium av Imperiata. Magnus is on 3 left.
He's on 3 left.
Angry Boy's on 10 left. I'm already feeling confident about this. Are you feeling confident?
Yes, this was your first mistake. Nearly killing 2 of my Primarchs.
Let's go on to the Forces of Chaos. Turn 1. Here we are after the Forces of Chaos movement phase. There is a potential for a couple of charges. Over here, Angron, 10 wounds remaining, could potentially go into that unit of attack bikes. The Death Guard waddling. They're below. We've put them on top so you can see them, but they're on the ground floor. Both of the tanks moving around so they can get some shots as well. And Mortarion has a potential for a first turn charge, though it will be a very long one. And I'm certain that I'll be taking models away from the front. Over here, the Risen Rubikai and Magnus move up again, and these guys are below, but we're just putting them on top so you can see them clearly. Now we're on to the psychic phase. Starting off the psychic phase with Magnus, Temporal Manipulation.
He needs to heal some wounds back. He doesn't get any buff to this because he's so low on wounds.
Okay.
But that goes off for a 6.
I'm not going to deny it. He gets pluses to cast anyway.
He gets no, he doesn't have because he's so wounded.
Oh, right, okay.
But he gets 3 wounds back.
So he's back up to 6
Back
wounds.
up to 6 wounds.
Next.
Glamour of Zinch. I need to make him harder to hit.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. This needs a 6.
Isn't a 6.
I get a +1 to cast because I am Thousand Suns.
Because, okay, so I will try and deny
Before
that.
you try and
with
deny that,
no, I want to try and
you
deny
can't
with one of
deny
my
that.
watchers. What are you doing?
I have Kabbalistic Rituals.
Yes.
Even the few sorcerers I have here give me 9 Cabal points to spend each psychic phase.
Right.
I'm using 8 of them to make that undeniable.
Okay, so -1 to hit Magnus.
Stick that in your watcher.
And he can cast 3. Last power
His
is
last power.
the Magnus Super
The
Smite.
Gaze of Magnus.
Okay.
So a nice high result we'd like for this.
Okay. Is 6 high enough?
It does go off, but it's not that mega smite we like. So that goes off for a 7, if you want to stop that.
Well, how many more wounds does it do?
It will do D6 mortal wounds.
D6?
D6.
Nah, you can have that.
That's 4.
Can I take it back? More Thousand Suns psychic stuff. Doombolt.
2 wounds in them.
Okay.
I need a 6 for this.
That's an 11.
Where was that one needed? It goes off. Do you want to stop it?
I don't think I can.
Flat 3 wounds.
Flat 3 wounds.
wounds.
So there's 4 wounds.
Mortal wounds, sorry.
4.
3 mortal wounds.
Okay, so there's 2 Terminators in this squad that have been wiped out. Any more psychic powers from Thousand Suns?
If I can reach, there is, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I've got aggressive spells with these and they're out of smite range, so just 1 boost there. He's going to cast Presage to give them +1 to hit.
Okay.
What could go wrong? Need a 7.
That doesn't pass. Well, no, you get
Adds
+1 to
for
cast.
being Cabal Sorcerer. It does go off on a 7.
I'm not going to deny that. You can have that.
+1 to hit. Now Mortarion
Yes.
is going to put Miasma of Pestilence on himself.
Okay. That passes on a 7. I will attempt to deny that with one of my watchers. And you can re-roll when it's against Chaos. And I deny you. So Magnus will be -1 to hit, but Mortarion won't be. All because of this little fella down here. Next up, he's trying to cast Curse of the Leper.
Yes, little plague leopards will leap out.
And that passes as well. This is going to do lots of mortal wounds, so I'll attempt to deny that with this little fella here. I need an 8, which I can re-roll. And that one manages to stop that power. Beautiful stuff, guys. Well done, little space Yodas. Clearly, when it comes down to the battle of psychic wits, Magnus is much better than Mortarion. And I like the fact that they put a tower in between them and Angron, because he really, really doesn't like witches. Now we're opening up the shooting phase with Mortarion. Firing the lantern, he's actually aiming at this unit here, because it will go through this unit and this unit as well. If you hit on a 2, and that's a hit. And it'll wound on 4s, because I am...
Individually?
Yeah, the first unit, then the second unit, and the third unit. You wound 1. You don't wound the middle one.
Not a plague rep, is it? You don't wound the third one.
Okay, just the first unit. That doesn't help me. One of them dies. So 1 falls in this unit, and now they're going to get picked on by one of the tanks here, spending 3 CP on... Blight Bombardment, so it becomes 3 damage.
Not 3 CP, is it? 1 CP.
1 CP, sorry. But it becomes 3 damage instead of 2 damage. The entropy cannons, can you see? You can see. You can just about see. Anyway, the Blight Bombardment, D6 shots is 2 shots.
Well, I mean, now let's re-roll it. Committed.
CP re-roll. Here we go.
There
5
we go,
shots. 3s to hit. Everything, well, 4 of them hit. 4s to wound.
You're still super duper.
Re-rolling 1s because it is a plague weapon. And that is 2 wounds. CP -2, I need 4 up saves. And each failed save will nuke 1. Then it has a potential to do mortal wounds. Right, Disgusting Force will do a wound to the lion on a 4. Good luck.
Yes.
That's a wound. It made him bleed. Next up, Entropy Cannons coming into the same squad on 3s. Both of them hit, wounding on 4s. And both of them wound. I need 5 up invulnerable saves. And I failed them both. Each of these does D3 plus 3 damage, nuking 2 more in this squad. Slugger hits on 3s, and this will wound on 4s as well. 2 more wounds, 2 more 3 up saves, which I make. So there's only 1 left in this unit after that tank unloaded. But we have a second tank. But before we do the second tank, this unit of Deathwing are going to get lit up by these Thousand Suns here. Stella's trying to soften them up for the kill.
So we've got rapid fire Inferno bolt guns, 8 of them plus a pistol going into them, rerolling 1s because Magnus is nearby. And do their best.
3s to hit. Here we are after reroll, 4s to wound. And these are all AP -2. Only 4 wounds came through. Have to start putting them on this guy first because he has 4 up saves. And now he's dead. And this guy will have a 3 up save because he's in a ruin. Now we're going back to the tank, and splitting fire always works. So where are we going?
There was a pesky lone missile launcher Deathwing over there.
Okay.
2 entropy cannons and the sluggers into
2 entropy cannons.
Both entropy cannons.
You really want him dead. And the mortar's coming down into the mess.
Yes. So let's do the entropy cannons first.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s.
One of them hits.
1 of them hits.
4s to wound.
4s to wound.
I can't see it. It does wound.
It does wound.
I need a 5. I make a 5.
Ah. Slugger.
Slugger hits 3 times. Wounds on 4s. Wounds twice. 2 3-up saves. He makes all those saves as well. He stands indomitable. The mortar's coming into this squad, and it only has 2 shots this time, which both miss. So the second Plague Burst mortar completely missed. Now we're coming down to the Thousand Suns at Rubikai, stood next to him, and they can draw a line of sight over here.
4 infernal combi bolters in there.
Right.
We'll come to the cannon in a minute. They have been presaged, so they're hitting on 2s, and Magnus pointed at them, so they're re-rolling 1s.
Brilliant.
They're also next to Exalted Sorcerers, so they're re-rolling 1s again. So
Yes.
how can this possibly go wrong?
2s to hit.
2s to hit.
Re-rolling all the 1s then.
Re-rolling.
It's a good job, isn't it? Because there was many 1s. 4s to wound.
4s to wound.
Transhuman and things. Is that 3 wounds?
Yeah.
AP,
AP -2.
which becomes -1 because of cover. I'm okay. However, there is a Soul Reaper cannon as well.
Twos, re-rolling ones.
Okay.
It hits on twos.
Force to wound.
Force to wound.
Gonna need 4 up saves for this. Make one of them. Takes a wound on 2 wounds remaining. Moving down the line to the Death Guard. Mephitic Blight Hauler firing up into the squadron of land speeders. Here's the 2 multi-melters. And both of them hit. They're wound on 3s. One of them wounds, I don't get a save, and it is d6 damage. 4 damage. One of the speeders is on 2 wounds remaining. Then there's a missile launcher, which hits. 3s to wound. Wounds. I need to make a 5. I don't make a 5. d6 damage. And that is 1 dead speeder, which blows up. It doesn't blow up. Then we finished off the shooting phase by firing some Death Guards down into the unit of attack bikes and did 1 wound. That is the end of the shooting phase and the end of the psychic phase for the Forces of Chaos. I've lost 7 of my Dark Angels Terminators, plus a Land Speeder Typhoon. And now there's a couple of potential charges kicking off. Where would you like to start?
It's got to be Angron.
It's got to be Angron. 7 inches into my attack bikes. I think I have to Overwatch him. Let's see if he makes the charge. Of course he makes the charge. Can any of these multi-melters hit? Let's see if we can do this. None of the multi-melters hit. Then I fired all the other guns. Did absolutely nothing to Angron as he comes charging through into the attack bikes. Now we're coming across to Mortari in a 10-inch charge to engage the Dark Angel Terminators.
This one I would like.
And that's a 7.
I think it's reroll time.
Okay, good luck. And
that's a bit cocked.
That one's really cocked, but that one's a 5. And we have a 7-inch charge. Mortarian trips over his shoelaces. Are you charging over here?
Yeah, we're going to put the rubric into the missiles. You'll punch me, but you won't kill them all, and I'll stop you shooting me.
Okay.
So it's got to cross the divide there.
Yes.
It's 5 enough to cross it.
5, well, it's head to foot, so you should be okay. After the charge, it looks like this. You are okay, and we are going to start here with piling in and fighting with the Rubikai. Thousand Suns, punch my Terminators.
Exactly, and any aspiring Chaos players note that, you know, I'm doing what you should do, which is leading with the Rubikai as my assault force, and then holding the World Eaters back. That's how you do it. It's the winning strategy.
World Eaters with Devastators.
Yeah, so these risen automata, it's going to clonk them with their bolt gun butts. They did quite well. Winning on 4s.
Yes. They do get a few wounds through.
Shooting. So AP nothing.
AP nothing. No. So I get 2 up saves.
2 up saves.
You injure one.
The main event is the guy with his force stave.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s. Everything hits. Wounding on still force. 1 wound. This one is -1 and it will do d3 damage.
And make the save. 1 wound on the Terminators. While the camera is here, we'll fight back with the Terminators. And they'll hit on 3s because they're Dark Angels and they stood still in your movement phase. They're going to wound on 2s.
Yep.
And they're AP -3.
It's double damage, isn't it?
2 damage.
So that my all his dust will not kick in, so I'm onto my 5 up invulnerable saves, which I make none, so 3 die.
3 of them get punched into the dust. But you're fearless. I'm fearless. Yeah. You've tied up the Terminators, so they won't be shooting at anything. Now we come all the way across to the other side of the battle grid, where the Red Angel is attacking my attack bikes. Angron, 13 attacks on the charge with the overhand swing. He hits on 2s.
Skull taking slash, which just kind of got 13. Yes, I did.
He's got 13.
Skull taking slash.
Yes.
Let's take the skulls of these bikes.
He's re-rolling once because he told himself to hit better. And this is strength 28,000. He's wounding on 2s.
2s.
With no save. And each of these is
D3 plus 3. No, that's a different. D3 plus 3. Yes.
D3, so minimum 4 damage.
So many bikes.
So that would be 1 attack bike, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He killed 10 attack bikes. There's only 3 in that squad. And
crucially, our first unit kill.
First unit kill. So your first blood type token. Blood for the Blood God. Skulls for the Skull Throne. And that is the end of the Forces of Chaos. Turn 1, my shooting attack has been cut in half already, losing an entire unit of attack bikes plus a Typhoon. And already there are Forces of Chaos pushing up against my lines. I'm going to have to unleash some of the Dark Angels now, but there's 2 Demon Primarchs on this flank. At least one of them is down to 6 wounds remaining. And there is the Red Angel on my left flank. The pressure has been turned up to 11 as we go into Imperium turn 2. Right, my plan this turn is quite simple. Remove 2 Primarchs from the occasion, which will be Magnus and Angron. And then Mortarion will have to hold the field down, which he can do because he's Mortarion. He's tough as nails. Before Angron comes back, once some blood has been spilt, for 6 tithe points, you can bring him back in. So round on this flank, these unit of Rubikai are tying up some Terminators. Can't have that, so send in a second squad of Terminators. Over here, the Lion likes hanging around, hiding at the back, things like that, staying in the rock, reading books. So he's staying at the back, doing what the Lion does.
The Lion sleeps tonight.
The Lion sleeps tonight. I love it. And we have some units of Dark Angels pushing forward, the Blade Guard veterans and this unit here. The idea is the Blade Guard veterans can tie up Magnus if he doesn't die, because there's going to be a lot of missile launchers and multi-melter attack bikes going into him, hopefully trying to take him down. I mean, honestly, Magnus is the completely least favourite. No one likes Magnus. He did plenty wrong, right?
Just so jealous of Magnus. You went off right away.
He has got some very pretty wings. They are prettier than Mortarion's wings. Then over on this side, there is some firepower that can go into Angron, and then the intention is to charge him. What could possibly go wrong? So let's go to the shooting phase. This lone missile launcher guy firing at Magnus, hitting on 3s and wounding on that. He needs a 4-up invulnerable save. He fails his 4-up invulnerable save. He's got 6 wounds remaining, and this will do D6 damage.
Well, let's have the first, the first reroll of the shooting phase.
Okay.
It worked.
Make it. I guess going to have to do these 4 Cyclone missile launchers into him. Mind you, there's a bolt. Let's do his thing. 5s. He does 2 wounds with his Stormbolter. No. Okay, right. Then the 4 missile launchers from this squad into them. Hitting on 3s, because you're currently -1 to hit. And wounding on 3s. That's 2 more wounds on Magnus.
2 4-ups.
And he makes 1, fails 1. Here's D6 damage. For 4 damage, which becomes 3 damage. He's on 3 wounds remaining. Now everyone in this squad has a Stormbolter. And I'm hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s because the Lion is nearby. And winning on 5s with the Stormbolters. That was really cocked. And re-rolling 1s because the Lion is nearby. Now the interesting thing is, these are AP -1. The tactical doctrine is in effect. So that Magnus only has a 4-up save. And he needs to make 6 4-up saves on his remaining 3 wounds. And Magnus falls. We have the first Primarch down. We have the first Primarch down. The worst one.
Bye-bye, Magnus.
Bye-bye, Magnus.
Too good for this world.
Magnus, bye-bye, bye-bye. I'm not saying that the forces of the Imperium breathe a sigh of relief, because we know no fear. We still have a lot more shots, though. There's all these multi-melter attack bikes, which are now free to fire at Angron, the Red Angel. And I'm going to hit him on 3s, and everything hits. And we wound on 3s.
4-up saves.
He is...
No,
oh dear. And that's a dead Angron. This plan is working perfectly. There is 1 Primarch left standing, which is a Mortarion. So let's shoot the Landspeeder Typhoons in at him. Hitting on 3s and wounding him on 4s because he's Mortarion. 2 wounds, 2 4-up invulnerable saves. Which he fails in both. That is 1 damage. That becomes 2 damage, so only 3 damage. And he has a Revoltingly Resilient.
There you go.
And he only takes 1 wound. Heavy bolters. Wounding on 6. Those 2 wounds.
Shall not pierce the Barabian plate. My new favourite Primarch. I'm trying for the win.
New favourite Primarch. Well, he's taken 1 wound so far. He's on 17 wounds remaining. There's going to be a couple of... I don't know if I'll even be able to hit him. No, the Terminators won't be able to shoot him. They're going to go charging into that squad. I think that is the end of the shooting phase, actually. So, 2 Primarchs down. Now we're going to charge these Terminators into Mortarion. They fail the charge. They're not happy about that. And these guys into... I'm going to have to CP reroll that. The idea is to try and lock him up for a bit. Okay, I make the charge. And then these Terminators are going to try and charge the Rubikai, and they make the charge. At the end of the charge phase, it looks like this. There's 4 hammers in this squad. And we're going to be hitting on 4s. And these are wounding on 2s. And then there's the master-crafted hammer, which is 4... It doesn't matter, I should have done this at the same time. Which misses. Okay, so 4 wounds.
4 wounds.
At -2.
What did the Thousand Suns do to you? Is it the silver cage? Is that what you're going for them first?
The silver cage still stings a little bit. If you want to see the silver cage, then and want to support me, then check out Silver Cage campaign on YouTube for members, tier 3 channel members. Become a member.
5 up in Bun.
5 up in Bun.
Excellent cross marketing, and that's 3 dead.
3 die. Then the claws attack on 3s. Only one of them hits, and re-rolling doesn't even wound. So now we're going on to Mortarion, and it occurred to me that perhaps I should have fought here first, because you could pay to interrupt. So Mortarion's doing a sweeping strike for 21 attacks. 2s to hit. 4s because of inner circle.
And re-rolling
the 1s.
The 1s. Another one there.
Okay.
Cocked. Nope, so...
And these are AP -2, 1 damage, the sweeping glow version, right?
Yes.
Right, it's -2, but becomes -1 because of storm shields.
Kill 1.
Just kill 1. Then I strike back, spending a CP on Fury or the first. So I'm hitting on 3s with my hammers. And then I need 4s to wound with hammers. And that is 4 wounds. How would you make? 2?
2 of them.
You make 2 of them.
Yeah.
Which is 3 damage a time, which becomes 2 damage a time. So 4 shrugs. And he shrugs 2 of those. He only takes 2 damage. Then the claws come in, hitting on 2s because of Fury the First. But I need 6s to wound, re-rolling everything because that's what lightning claws do. That's another wound. And you need 1 more shrug. Which you shrug. He only takes 2 damage. Mortarion is the best Primarch. Mortarion's on 15 wounds remaining. Then we come back over here to the Risen Rubikai. And they strike out on the Terminators above them, the ones that are injured.
2 regular Rubikai.
Okay.
And 4s.
That's 2 wounds.
To save it -nothing.
I'm okay, but there's a guy with the
Guy
staff.
with the staff. He hits with everything.
Right.
Wounding again on still 4s. And 1 -1.
And I failed the save.
Gets 1. D3.
So he will kill that guy there. And then the last guy punches down and hits twice. Will wound the Rubikai on 2s. Wounds twice. 2 more 5 up invulnerable saves. And 1 more gets punched. So I tried to break them free. Tried to break this unit free by charging in. But now I've got 2 units of Terminators tied up with Rubikai. But at the end of Imperium turn 2, there is only 3 Primarchs remaining on the table. And 2 of them are Imperial because Imperial is twice as good as Chaos. Mortarion cannot fall back and shoot and charge and do anything like that, but he can psychic his way into close combat. And remember, when you're within 3-inch range of Mortarion, there are no auras, there are no rerolls. The toughness of anything in contagion range is down by -1, and he's got plenty of psychic powers which he can call from. There is a unit of World Eaters now that can choose to outflank because they were in strategic reserve. And there's still some big guns left in the Forces of Chaos armory. As we go on to the Forces of Chaos turn 2. Here we are at the end of the movement phase for the Forces of Chaos. Around this side of the battle grid, 1 unit of World Eaters have come outside of that Rhino there, along with a Master of Executions. And it looks like they're lining up the Terminators. Where are the second unit, I hear you ask? Well, they're on the other side of the battle grid, having done a cheeky outflank maneuver.
Kind of sneakiness that only a Master of Zinch could set up before he took an early bath because he's done his job now.
Yeah, I think World Eaters are known for being sneaky.
I think Magnus set the pieces up and then decided the battle was won, so he didn't need to stick around anymore. So
oh, right, okay.
Got back in the warp. Yeah, so outflanking.
They're going to come on this way.
Because it's possible
Yes.
that unit is not done for. Because there were 9 of them there, but their real value is their mortal wound output, and that hasn't reduced. So I managed to smite him away and charge into them.
Yes.
You've still got mortal wounds very, very close to your line.
Yeah. And
then an angry
there'll be World
berserkers.
Eaters close to the line on this side and World Eaters close to Guilliman on this side. Meanwhile, backing up the World Eaters are the Smelly Boys going through the crater. The Sparkly Boys with all their spells coming around this way to bolster Mortarion. And the 2 tanks are lined up perfectly so they could either hit the multi-melter attack bikes or fire around this side of the tower and come into the land speeder Typhoons. But before we go into any of that stuff, we have some spells. We have Mortarion and we have the Thousand Suns. Beginning in this corner of the battle grid where the risen Rubikai charge some Terminators, what are we doing, sir?
We're going to hit him with a Doom Bolt, which is
Okay.
a flat 3 wounds, so it's going to clear him out of the way.
Will it?
It will. With an 8 becomes a 9.
It looks like I need to deny that. No, I've only got 2 denies left, and I want to hold on to them for Curse of the Leper or Miasma of Pestilence or Mortarion. So is that going on the injured one?
It is, yeah. He's not injured, but he's dead now.
He's dead now. Okay, so that squad had been wiped out. That's another blood type point to get you up to 5 blood types.
So Guron, the ill-favoured, is carrying around a relic that gives him Athenian scrolls. I pick 1 psychic power, which I will now nominate as Tzeentch's Firestorm. I roll 3 dice, pick the best 2.
Okay.
He is going to try and Firestorm them.
Okay. So that's a 10.
The reason I did that, to pick a 10, make it an 11, do you want to try and deny that?
I don't think I can.
I don't think you can.
What does this do?
The reason I did that is because the higher the number, the more likely it is to go off. So if the result is over a 9,
Yes.
I roll 9 dice, and you suffer mortal wounds on a 5 up.
9. Tzeentch's number.
9 Tzeentch's
Let's see
number.
how many 5s you can get. I see 1, 2.
2 5s.
I just see 2. One of the Terminators gets a mighty headache but doesn't fall over yet.
I smite them with the second power.
Okay.
And that's a 9 becomes a 10.
Yep, you can have it. That is
3.
3. Ooh, I'm down to 3 Terminators remaining. Anything else from the Thousand Suns?
They have a power.
Right.
Do I go for another smite, or do I... Let's go for another smite.
Another smite.
That's right, yeah, 6
Another
this
cheeky
time.
smite.
Drop dice don't count. Shame, that is a 4, becomes a 5, so it doesn't go off.
Brilliant.
Unless I want to spend my Kabbalistic Rituals, is the last time to do it. I've got 6 ritual points, and if I spend 5 of them, I'll add 1 to the Psychic Test, which has just gone off. Do you want to stop it? It's on a 6 now.
I need to stop Curse of the... No, I'm not stopping it.
Smite! For 1.
Just 1. Okay, enough to kill a Terminator. That's it for the spells from the Thousand Suns. Their Kabbalistic Rituals coming in clutch there. Now we're on to Mortarion. Surely he wants to miasma himself.
He definitely wants to miasma
This is the
himself.
one I want to try and block. On a 6. That's a Snake Eyes. You have 1 CP.
I was really hoping to use that for other stuff. But
well, you could take it. It's D3 wounds to yourself. He has got a 5-up shrug. But you also lose the -1 to hit him.
this game is about the Primarchs, though.
It is about the Primarchs.
I wanted to use the CP to make their charge better. I could have made it faster.
Over here.
Yeah, I can do stuff, but this game is about keeping the Primarchs alive, and I'm so far not doing that. So
Okay.
I've got to spend the point.
CP reroll.
CP reroll.
And that's a 10. I will try and deny it. I need an 11, which I can re-roll because Watchers in the Dark do that. No. Mortarion will be -1 to hit.
Psychic power of the phase is Curse of the Leper. That's
And
a
that
7.
definitely goes off.
7 dice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're definitely going to think about denying it again.
Well, see, because if you kill them, then you can charge something else. So let's try and deny it. I don't deny it. I need to re-roll. I don't deny it. Okay, so this is 7 dice, and on 4s it does mortal wounds.
Okay.
And that is 4
Mortal wounds.
mortal wounds, killing all the Terminators but 1, and the one left standing is very poorly and smelling right now. Mortarion points the lantern down at the last remaining Terminator and hits. He'll wound him on a 4.
Points to himself to say, do better.
He wounds.
He wounds.
And I fail the save. And he gets... Oh no, it's a 4-up and vulnerable save. Storm Shield. He's okay. After Mortarion, we're coming round to the Crawler, firing across at the 2 Typhoons down here. 2 multi-melters, hitting them on 3s. Both of them hit. These are wound on 3s. Both of them wound and I don't get a save. You have to do them separately. D6. Nope. Is enough to kill one of them, which doesn't detonate. And then the missile launcher streaks across the battle grid and hits the Crawler and wounds the Crawler and wounds the Typhoon, which needs a 5-up save. Fails to save, another D6 damage for 5 damage. So one of the Typhoons is wiped out and one is on 1 wound remaining. Move around to the tanks. Now, one of the tanks is firing all the guns down into the attack bikes, but the Slugger is going to come and try and finish off the land speeder Typhoon.
Yes.
What are we starting with?
Let's do the Slugger first. If I
Okay.
get that, needing 3s. 2.
2 hits. You need 5s to wound. No wounds.
Okay, so now the attack bikes, the mortars, the number of shots
Okay.
for 1.
1 shot. Brilliant.
I've got nothing to reroll it with.
Which misses.
Right. Great. Good job, guys.
And both of the entropy cannons miss as well. The shots from one of the tanks going completely wide. I like to think that it just gets swallowed up by the fly storm of Mortarians stood right in front of it. So what are you doing with tank number 2, Stylus?
Putting the slugger into that, plus 2 entropy cannons.
Plus 2 entropy cannons. Okay.
And then the launchers go into the attack bike. So they're going to live, I think.
Okay.
But we're going to live with that. Okay. Let's do the launch mortar first.
Mortar.
3 shots.
3 shots this time. 3s to hit.
1 hit. They've not been on their target yet.
And it wounds. It's -2. And make the save.
Okay.
2 entropy cannons into Typhoon. One of them hits. Wounds on a 3. Doesn't wound.
I have nothing to reroll. But these will save me. 2 for the slugger.
5s to wound with the
5
slugger.
to wound. Nothing.
Are
Great.
you saying that the tanks, both of them, firing at the Typhoon and at the attack bikes, and at the end of all the shots, they did no damage whatsoever?
And that was a critical part of my plan that did not seem to work.
No, and they're my tanks.
They're your tanks.
And
Curse them.
yes, they seem to be working well for me.
That was my mephitic blight tool, and that works.
Yeah. Well, my tanks seem to be working quite well for me right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got some pistols and things firing in lots of different directions against Terminators. Let's do that now. So then we did pistol fire, bolter fire into the 13th, killing one of the assault Terminators over here. And the last thing left to fire is the unit of Risen Rubikai Terminators, which are targeting the attack bikes one more time.
Right, these will hit on 3s and the reroll 1s for being near the guy.
Okay. Attack bikes are toughness 5 though, so 5s to wound.
5s to wound.
But they are AP -2.
They are.
7 4-up saves. Oh.
5 shots for the Soul Reaper cannon.
Okay.
We roll that 1. And this is a strength 6 weapon.
So 3s to wound.
And there's -3. 3 coming in at -3.
3 coming in at -3. 6s. I don't make any of the 6s. 2 of the attack bikes are dead and 1's on 3 wounds remaining. So the tanks couldn't do it, but the Terminators could do it. I think that's the end of the shooting phase. We covered everything. There was a few pistols and things.
It was, and I still haven't killed anything outright for a blood type point, have I?
No. You're up to 5.
Up to 5. So
at the end of the shooting phase, you can spend 3 CP on +1 to charge if you want to,
I think
or something.
because I've lost my command point that would have sped up my charge, I need to do that.
Okay.
So I'm spending the blood type points.
So we're on to the charge phase with Rage, Fueled Invigoration. This unit of World Eaters here just need a 4, I think.
Okay.
And they go flying in.
And the Master of
To
Execution
the
is coming in
Terminators.
with... So he was too short to get in. But
Okay.
the Death Shroud Terminators are going in.
They need an 8.
They do not get an
They
8.
fail the charge. Do you want to send the Plague Marines in? They're a bit further away.
Why not? There you
Okay.
go. Nope.
They fail the charge, so the World Eaters against the first company will be unsupported over here, though. The Terminators, Thousand Sun Terminators,
They are
want to
gonna
back
go
up Magnus. I say Magnus. Mortarian. And they definitely make the charge.
Okay.
And we also have an 8-inch charge over here because you spent that blood tithe point. So
This
good
is what
luck.
it was all about.
And that's a 10. They make the charge after sneakily outflanking. They're both cunning as well as brutal. So we have multiple charges across the line. World Eaters on the right flank, Thousand Sons and Mortarian in the centre, and World Eaters on the left flank. We're going to start here with the Khorne Berserkers attacking the 13th Terminators. With many dice. You're okay there?
I got them all. 41
All right.
dice.
3s to hit.
3 to hit.
And 3s to wound. And you need to make a lot of 4-up saves. And in the end, 4 of the 8 die, and 1 takes 2 wounds. So the unit of Khorne Berserkers did not break through. I do have CP for days, so I can pay to interrupt. No point pay interrupt with it, Mortarian over here. But I've got a unit of 5 Terminators that have just been attacked by another unit of Khorne Berserkers. So let's interrupt here. And here's all the hammer attacks, which hit on 3s because I'm a Dark Angel when I stood still, and wound the Berserkers on 2s. They need to make 9 5-up saves.
Coming up.
Ooh,
Good.
that was pretty good.
That's 3 killed.
Only 3.
Only 3.
There's a claws in there. The claws will be able to do better. Claws, hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s with a reroll. Those are 5-up saves as well. 4 more 5-up saves. Okay, so I killed 4 and put 1 down to 1 wound remaining. That could have been much better. From this assault, we move to the middle, to the Terminators, 1,000-ton Terminators attacking the last remaining Dark Angel Terminator. And that Terminator gets utterly rinsed. And then we come back over to this corner for the World Eaters, who are rudely interrupted. They get to fight my Terminators on threes.
Winning on fours.
Yeah, because transhuman in a circle, and this is not match play. There's still plenty of wounds, though. The thing is, I've got hammers in those squads, so these are all AP -2, which becomes -1 because of the hammers and shields. So 3 up saves, and 1 takes 2 wounds. And he's still fine, still a squad of 5. Now we can go across to here to defenders fighting the World Eaters. No, actually, you've already fought there. I've already fought here. Yes, we have to go here to 13th fighting World Eaters. And I'm hitting on 4s with my fists. I re-roll 1 of these, and 6s explode. Oof. My trait, Whirlwind of Rage, really kicking in there. But can I wound? I can wound 10 times, 8 times. You need some 5s. Ooh. And this time 6 of them gets punched into oblivion. And we come back over here to the Risen Rubikai fighting the last other Dark Angels Terminators.
Chip a wound.
Chip a wound?
Rubikai to start with.
Okay.
Once. And doesn't wound. The guy with the Force Stave hits once. Wounds -1.
I make the save. And that is the end of the fight phase. So the morale phase is definitely going to be a thing. I've got a couple of CP to play with. I think there's 4 or 5 over there. So I'm going to spend 2 CP on Insane Bravery. So the 13th do not run. They do not bend. You've got a couple of morale to take, though.
That is true.
There's the Khorne Berserkers down here. Just 1 dice. It's not heresy. It's 1 dice. Add the number of killed models. 3 plus the 6 is 9.
9 is their leadership.
I think they're leadership 9.
They are.
I think they're okay.
Okay.
And then over here with the Khorne Berserkers, don't roll high. You don't roll high. So blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. They've come charging in to the right and left, and you did get another blood tithe point in the middle of the battle grid for taking out that Terminator over there, and that is the end of Chaos. Turn 2?
Turn 2.
It's only turn 2. I think it's time now for the loyalist Primarchs to step forward and cleanse the battle grid of this filth as we go on to Imperium. Turn 3. 1 minute. There is a leadership test on the bikes as well, because they're only leadership 7. Don't roll a 6. I roll a 6. I'm glad we managed to catch that. I'm not sure if speeders have it as well, but
they lost 1.
Yeah, they're going to be. Oh, they lost 1. They're going to be okay. So I've lost my multi-mode for attack bike, which I really needed. Right, let's go into Imperium. Turn 3. Okay, it's all very simple. There's 1 Primarch left on the table, and it's last Primarch standing. So kill Mortarion, the Lion striding forward. This unit striding forward. The Blade Guard is going to go into that Space Wizard over there. Basically, I don't know if I'm going to be able to engage Mortarion in combat this turn, but I'll certainly give him a go next turn. The last hero Cyclone Missile Launcher chap standing still to put some shots into him, as well as the Cyclone Missile Launcher. And Guilliman is making his way downtown to take on Mortarion as well. I'll have to hope that this unit of Terminators is enough to slap those World Eaters and the second wave, which will be the Plague Marines and the Blightlord Terminators when they come crashing in as well. And I know it's a bit of a sideshow round this flank with World Eaters and Risen Rubikai and things like that, but if I can dig through them, then all of a sudden I'll have 10 Terminators free, and this is a nice corner that I could retreat to if things go horribly wrong. So they will have to go in there. So we'll start off with a shooting phase. We're going to shoot a bunch of bolt pistols into Terminators, but with all his dust I'll have a 2-up save, because I can't pick on your character because he's a bit too far away, so we'll do that first. Yep, no damage is caused. Oh, one more thing. The Dark Angels are switched to the Assault Doctrine, because when they're in the Assault Doctrine, they can re-roll wounds against anything with a wounds characteristic of high or anything, plus the AP goes up. Not that I could re-roll anything against Mortarion because of his Warlord traits. But Guilliman has ordered the 13th to stay in the Tactical Doctrine for now, I think. Do I? No, let's put everything in the Assault Doctrine. It just makes things easier. Easier to remember. Okay, so we fired some pistols. Now let's fire some missile launchers in this unit into Mortarion. I need force to hit him because of my Asthma of Pestilence, and I've hit him once and I don't even wound him. Let's do all the Storm Bolters. On 4s. Rerolling 1s. Here we are to the rerolls. Wounding on 6s. Rerolling 1s. 1 wound. 1 3-up save on Mortarion. And he takes a wound. Feel no pain? He feels the pain. He's on 14 left. Let's fire the Typhoon in at him. On 3s. Or 4, sorry. They both hit. And one of them wounds. I'm going to command point that. I need him dead. They both wound him. And one of them gets through. You don't have any CP. This is D6 damage, which the 5 becomes 4. Then he can shrug because he's revoltingly resilient.
Shrug 1.
Mortarion's on 11 wounds remaining. Then the heavy bolter goes chugga, chugga, chugga and misses. Let's fire the lion in with his pistol. He hits and wounds. And invulnerable save.
No problem.
Okay. I think that's the end of the shooting phase. We're going to need to do some charges now. So this unit of Terminators are charging in to the Rubikai, and they make the charge. This unit of Blade Guard Vets want to kill that Space Wizard there because he's going to keep buffing people, and they will make the charge. And then round this side of the battle grid, this unit of Dark Angel, Deathwing are going to charge the World Eaters, and they make the charge as well. Then there's a final charge to do. The Lion charging through the train is going to need an 8 to make the 1,000 Suns. And of course, Lionel Johnson makes the charge as well. Now, interestingly enough, Stylus doesn't have any CP to interrupt. So we'll get to the Lion. He's the cherry on the cake. Let's start down here in this corner and kill some Khorne Berserkers. Here's all the hammers on 4s. And they'll wound on 2s, and they're AP -3 right now because of the Assault Doctrine.
Does Khorne protect? No, he doesn't.
Khorne does not protect.
They're out of here.
They get smushed. The Deathwing consolidate. Then we come across here to the Blade Guard Veterans. Hitting your sorcerer. What's his name again?
Guthrum the Ill-Favoured.
Guthrum the Ill-Favoured is about to get stabbed by some master-crafted power swords, which will wound the Ill-Favoured on 3s. Oh, that's not very good. It's AP -4. 2 damage right now.
I have a 4-up Ill-Favoured save.
4-up Ill-Favoured. Okay.
Okay. Come on, Guthrum.
He takes 6 damage.
He doesn't have that many wounds.
And I cut him down as well. Now, should I fight with the Terminators first or the Lion? It has to be the Lion, doesn't it? The Lion has 10 attacks. He's going to do his overhand swing. Hit those Terminators on 2s, and he rerolls 1s, and his overhand swing is strength 10. And he wounds on 2s, and he rerolls 1s, and then -5, and they're a flat 4 damage, which is very interesting. So that is 10 invulnerable saves.
Okay, can I make 10 5-up invulnerable saves?
Hopefully not.
I've made
5.
5.
You made exactly
One
half.
is alive.
Was there 6 in the squad?
There's 5 in the squad. So I've made 6 there.
Oh yeah, you made 6.
4 dead.
Oh wow. Okay, so there's 1 left alive, and if you kept this one, for example, they're not going to be able to pile in enough to hit him with the 3-inch piling because the Terminators get to fight next. And that's exactly what Stylus has done. So I've piled forward to tag him with the Lion. He's fearless, though. You won't have to take any morale. And then this unit charged part. So they're there. They end up there. That is the end of all my charging units. Now defenders can fight first. And we have some Khorne Berserkers over here. And one of my Terminators on 1 wound remaining. And you're going to hit on 3s. And that's pretty good punching techs. And you're going to wound on 3s. My Terminators need 6 4-up saves. The injured fella dies. And 1 more goes... I'll take away the cyclone. It looks like this. Now let's hit you with some stuff. 3 Terminators remaining. Hitting on 4s. Only 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. Only 1 wound. 1 6-up save.
Yes!
And don't kill any. The Khorne Berserkers withstand the fight back.
Blood for the Blood God.
Now we can come over here. The Rubikai are still tying up these Terminators. One of my Terminators is on 1 wound remaining. Let's see if the Automaton can punch me with the butt of his gun.
Automaton first.
1 hit.
Again, he scores. He does not wound.
Okay.
Right. The Aspiring Sorcerer hits twice. Wounds twice, -1 to the save.
3-up saves. And make the saves. And now I get to punch you back with all these Terminators. My hammers hit you on 3s. And these will wound on 2s. And that is 6 invulnerable saves.
I'll do the same again with the invulnerable saves. Not even close.
No.
They're gone.
They get cut down. So down in this corner of the battle grid, my Dark Angels finally break through the World Eaters and the Rubikai that have tied them down for so long, and we've got one little fight left to do.
It's not a little fight. I'm going to plunge my Proserpine Khopesh through your ungrateful heart.
Into the lion.
Into the lion.
You're going to miss. You don't miss.
Don't miss.
You hit all the times.
Wounded strength is... What's his toughness?
His toughness is 6.
Oh,
so that is a wound. 4 up and vulnerable save.
Ooh,
I failed the save.
2 damage.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, the line is down to 6 wounds remaining. So that's the end of Imperium turn 3. All of a sudden, there is a big wall of Terminators rampaging down towards Mortarion, who's only on 11 wounds remaining. However, Stylus has racked up enough blood type points, skulls for the Skull Throne,
Blood for the Blood God,
to bring Angron back in, should you wish. And remember, when Angron drops back in, he can deep strike in anywhere, 9 inches away. But all the World Eaters still have +1 to their charge rolls, so they'll have an 8-inch charge when they go flying in. And this unit of Blightlord Terminators and the Plague Marines on this flank have yet to sink their blades into anything. And last turn, the tanks did absolutely nothing. Surely this turn, the 2 Blight Haulers will be able to rain some damage down into the Loyalists as we go into Chaos, turn 3. So Angron has rematerialized on the battle grid. He is a shooting star, a supernova, a black hole, and if he wants you dead, this force of nature cannot be stopped until everything is utterly destroyed. Appearing behind Mortarion to help out his brother. That's a good family photograph over there. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of pain coming into these 5 Dark Angels plus the Lion. They're being lined up by a bunch of tanks as well, and there'll be psychic powers. Around this corner of the battle grid, where we were fighting the Rubikai and the outflanking World Eaters, all is quiet over here at the moment, and all is quiet with Guilliman and his bodyguard of 9 remaining Terminators. However, just in front of him, we have a Master of Possession and the rest of the Death Guard moving in for the kill. But before we do any of this, we have a psychic phase in the middle. If you manage to pull this off, by the way, I can see nothing here, nothing there, and I'll have some Terminators and Guilliman and some Terminators left, and I'll definitely be on the back foot. So this is your opportunity to turn it round.
We have our first wrinkle.
No pressure. What's your first wrinkle?
First wrinkle is I had to pull away enough Terminators so you couldn't pile into me.
Yes.
Including the Sorcerer. He is not a Sorcerer and cannot cast psychic powers.
Brilliant.
He's just an automata. And I can't bring them back with Cult of Time because you've taken away the last of my Sorcerers.
Okay.
So he is just sitting there chopping away the Lion. He'd probably want to fall back, I think.
So you want to fall him back?
Yeah, but other than that, we're all good. So it's down just to him then. The Siege Sorcerers are gone. It's just the Nurgle ones left.
Okay.
We're going to start off with, and you have no more denies, those Watchers.
I don't have any more denies. No.
Well, let's go for the big smite to start with.
Okay.
Okay. If I get a super smite, I can take him out in one shot.
It's not going to happen.
It isn't going to happen, but it goes off.
It does go off. D3, mortal wounds. For 1 mortal wound, the Lion is down to 5 wounds remaining.
And now I'm miasma myself.
Yes. And that passes. I can't deny that. And Mortarion will be -1 to hit again as a cloud of flies swarm all over him. I think that's the end of your psychic phase.
That is all I've got, so I may as well pull out my pistol and lantern him as well.
You're going to shoot the Lion in the face.
In the face.
Okay. You hit. You wound. 4+ invulnerable save?
Indeed.
I failed the 4+ invulnerable save. I think that's a flat 3 damage.
It is, yeah.
I think I need to CP reroll that. It doesn't help me. That's a flat 3 damage. The Lion is down to 2 wounds remaining. At least Mortarion is the only thing that can shoot at him because I've got other units that are closer to the tanks. So the Lion is in danger. We're coming over here to the left flank though, where there's a lot of Death Guard looking at the 13th. Where are you starting, Stylus?
I've got my squad of Plague Marines here. Plasma guns into the Speeder and bolt guns into the Lone Terminator.
Okay, are you overcooking the plasma gun? You don't need to, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm still at long range, so this is just 2 shots.
Yes, both of them hit. 3's to wound. One of them wounds. I need a 6 on the Speeder. It's on 1 wound remaining. I don't get a 6 and it doesn't blow up. That's the last of my long range firepower, except for this cyclone missile launcher guy stood here. Wiped out the occasion. And then we have loads of bolt guns coming into the Terminators, which hit them on 3s. And because of contagions, you're wounding on 3s. 1 minute, you weren't shooting at the 13th, you were shooting at this one.
Yes.
So it is 1 wound, and he makes the save. So the Mephitic Blightcrawler is going to fire into the Cyclone Missile Launcher Terminator. Here's the missiles.
He's been there since turn 1, annoying me.
Multi-melters, both of them hit. 4s. One of them wounds. 5+ and bun. I make the 5+ and bun. The missile hits him.
It wounds him.
And wounds him. He needs a 4. He makes the 4, getting hit by anti-tank fire, and he just shrugs it off. Next, we have some Plague Spurters going into my Assault Terminators. Number of auto hits. 12 auto hits, winning on 4s, and re-rolling 1s. It is a Plague weapon. And my Terminators need 2-up saves, and one of them takes a wound. Then a pistol came through as well, putting one of the Terminators down to 1 wound remaining, and that's all the firepower from the Death Guard so far on this flank.
Speaking of pistols, they have a couple of pistols, so they'll...
A couple of pistols in close combat, World Eaters. They remember they have guns. 1 hit, 1 wound, and make the save. Okay, so that's all the firepower here. We're coming across...
Crack grenade.
Crack grenade.
It hits. It wounds.
And I make that save as well. Okay.
Where were we? Okay.
So that's definitely all the firepower over this side of the tower. Now we're coming over to the tanks.
1 tank into that unit there.
Firing everything at these Dark Angels.
Do the mortar first. Number of shots.
For 3 shots. This will hit on 3s. And you hit every single time. This will wound on 4s. And it only wounds once. And I make the save. Entropy cannons. One of them hits. Wounds on a 4. Wounds. AP -4. I need a 5-up and bun. I don't make the 5-up and bun. And a minimum 4 damage. That will just frag 1.
Okay, little stubby subs.
Everything hits. 4s to wound.
And 3
wounds at -1. And one of them takes 2 wounds and is down to 1 wound remaining. So one of the tanks wipes 1 out. Let's see if the second tank can do any better.
Number 2, same again. Starting with the stubbies this time.
Yes.
Everything hits.
Okay, 4s to wound.
And 2 wounds.
2 wounds, 2 3-up saves. I make it.
Okay, the number of shots for the mortar is 3 again. And they all hit. And 1 wounds.
4-up save. I make that save.
Cannons.
1 hit.
Damn you tanks.
Plague weapon.
The plague weapon.
Wounds. And I don't make that save actually. It's AP. Yeah, that's a 5-up and bun. So a tank take out 1 each. It's Deathwing just doing Deathwing things. I think that's the end of the shooting phase.
It is.
So now we have some charges. Where is Mortarion going? You've got the Lion stood right in front of you on 2 wounds remaining. Or the unit of Blade Guard, or you could charge both. So what are you doing?
Mortarion is going to the Blade Guard.
Right.
Angron is going to multi-charge the Lion and the...
Multi-charge. A Primarch and some Terminators.
1 axe for the Lion, 1 axe for the rest.
Well, Mortarion needs to get out of the way
He
first.
does, he's going to move.
He gets out of the way. It's just a little bit. Stumbles over his...
Okay.
Okay, so the Mortarion takes on the Blade Guard veterans.
Okay.
Now it's an 8-inch charge for Angron. And you've got CP.
I've got 1 CP left. Which I'm going to need.
Snake Eyes. You definitely need it.
Oh, that's a bit cocked.
That one's really cocked. And the 2... And
No.
Angron fails the charge. So we just have Mortarion engaging the Blade Guard veterans. Over here, however, Blightlord Terminators into my Terminators.
Indeed.
And they will make the charge. And you've got a Master of Possessions round here who could do it as well. Master of Executions, yep.
He will just go into them.
That's it for charges. Now, we did say that you could potentially wipe them away and wipe these away. But the Dark Angels and the Lion in the middle of the battle grid are not out of the fight yet. And I've got 4 CP, so I could pay to interrupt. So where would you like to start?
I'd hate to point this out. Do you want to heroically intervene with the Lion into that last Scarab cult?
Yeah, that'd be rude not to. Let's do that. Thanks for that.
That's all right. Well, I think I need Mortarion to chop down those Blade Guards, so we need to do that.
So Mortarion's doing the overhand swing this time, hitting on 2s and re-rolling everything. He doesn't need to. And he wounds on 4s because of Inner Circle. And re-rolls any 1s. There's 1. And basically all of these does a bajillion damage. So I need to make 4-up Storm Shield saves or lose Blade Guard veterans. Turns out I lose 2 Blade Guard veterans. Then we move across to my Terminators, who are going to pay to interrupt, and I'm going to try and kill. What I'm going to do is put... well, I've got Shock Assault again. So 2 are going to go into the Khorne Berserkers, and 1 is going to go into your Master of Possession. Okay?
Okay.
So here's the one into the Master of Possession. I would be hitting on... yeah, I'm hitting on 4s. But 6s explode, so nothing happens. Here's the guys into the World Eaters. And then I can reroll a hit with Master Artisans and 6s explode. So that ends up being 6 hits, wounding them on 2s. And that is the end of the Khorne Berserkers at AP -4. So the Death Shroud Terminators swing their Man Reapers with 13 attacks. And they're hitting on 3s because they're cleaving. And with Contagions, they're wounding these Terminators on 2s. And these are... and rerolling the 1s. Yeah. That's pretty good. I need to make 7 Crux Terminators, 5 up invulnerable saves. Look at that. I make a chunk. That kills 1. That puts 1... oh no, 1 was already injured, actually. So 2 are dead. There's 1 remaining. Softened up for the kill for your Master of Executions. Stylers, can I say I love your Master of Executions? Where did you make him from?
I feel like he's not even a conversion. He's just an Age of Sigmar Khorne champion.
Age of Sigmar Khorne champion?
Yeah. If I was being... okay, I think he's halfway between a demon prince and a thing, like a mini demon. And
He's got... I like him.
I would put a backpack on him. He's got a great Khorne tattoo on. He's got a scar on his back, so it's too good to miss. But
he's got massive big horns.
That's Red Arg Bloodfane.
So Red Arg Flowblade swinging his dismemberment axe.
On 2s.
On 2s.
Okay. And this wounds on 2s.
Wounds on 2s.
AP?
AP is big. It's AP -3 or -3. Yes, 2 damage.
I need 5 up saves. I don't get the... and that's 2 damage
2
each.
damage apiece.
So he does slaughter the last of the Terminators. So the last thing left to fight is the return fire from the Blade Guard veterans into Mortarion. I am hitting you on 2s though, because you charge me and I'm a Dark Angel. But I can't re-roll those 1s because Mortarion shuts down that sort of thing. I will wound on 5s. And in the Assault Doctrine, normally I'd re-roll fail wounds against something that tough. But again, can't re-roll hits or wounds because of his Warlord traits. So 4 up invulnerable saves. And it would be 2 damage a time, but that's 1 damage a time. So only 3 wounds come through, which you can shrug on 5s. And he shrugs all 3 of them. Mortarion, Lord of Death, showing how it's done. 1 minute, we should have done the Lion first because he's got to fight first. Hitting your Terminators on 2s and wounding on 2s. Again, no re-rolls because Mortarion's nearby. Can you make 6 invulnerable saves and keep this Scarab Occult Terminator alive? No, you can't. He does manage to wipe him out. And that is the end of Chaos turn 3. The Lion turns around and strides straight towards Angron, the Red Angel. Down in this corner of the battle grid, I've got some Terminators who are somewhat out of position. They're going to have to start running in because it's all about killing these Primarchs. And Mortarion he's proving a tough nut to crack.
He's pretty good, yeah. He's been clinging on to me. And
then over here, I've got 9 Terminators facing the might of all the remaining Plague Marines charging down towards my Lion Lions. But Guilliman's here. I'm not scared. Everything's going to be fine. So I think the idea is push forward with Guilliman this way, push forward with the Dark Angels over there. Very simple. And once a kill, and then we'll all go back to the base for tea and biscuits, and it'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'm fine. How are you? Here we are after the Imperium's movement phase. These 2 units of Terminators are charging, running up the table, trying to get closer to their Primarch and the remaining Dark Angels in a circle over here, battling 2 Demon Primarchs down in this corner of the battle grid. Guilliman's standing still and ordering a counterattack against the Plague Marines. We've done some shooting. I did some pistols into close combat into Mortarion. Didn't do any damage whatsoever. We're going to come across here and try and put some missile launchers and things into Angron. So, 2 missile launchers, hitting you on 4s, and I hit twice, and wounding Angron on 3s, and that's 2 wounds into Angron.
4 up saves.
And he fails them both. How many wounds has he got?
He's got 8. No,
and that is 9 damage. That is the end of Angron. One more time.
Angron.
Thanks for coming back. It's good. He reappeared. He failed the charge and just got shot. I love it. More shots. There's a missile launcher over here. Let's shoot at the Blightlord Terminators. And both of them hit. And one of them wounds. And you fail the save. And this will do d6 damage for only 2 damage, which becomes 1 damage. And then let's fire the Stormbolter in. Stormbolter did nothing. Also fired Guilliman's bolter in and did nothing. And that is the end of my shooting phase. And I consider it very successful. One more Primarch dead.
For now.
For now.
I have a 6 tithe points once again.
So you can come back next turn as well. Okay. We're going to charge the Terminators and everyone here into your Master of Possession, Master of Executions, and the Blightlord Terminators. And then it'd be rude not to charge Mortarion with the Lion, right? He goes charging in. Let's back him up with his Terminators. And the Terminators go 10. Of course, they make it in as well. So the 13th Terminators make the charge, and over here, Mortarion is in trouble. Now, this is pretty clutch, because at the end of the battle round, Angron comes back in next battle round. But if there are no Primarchs remaining at the end of this battle round, I win.
This is your turn. The round ends when I've had my turn.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so you can definitely get him
Still
back
pretty
in.
clutch, mate.
Okay. So you still can get back in.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet. Right, shall we fight you with the Lion?
Okay.
The Lion versus Mortarion. 10 attacks. You're currently -1 to hit, so the Lion will hit you on 3s. And at strength 10, the Lion will wound you on 3s. And they're -5, 4 damage a time, and that is 6 wounds on Mortarion. Right?
4 damage a time.
Yes, that's what its sword does. It just does a flat 4. Okay.
I take 3 of them.
Right. So that's 9 damage to
9
you
damage.
because he reduces all damage by 1.
So that puts me down to 2
Well,
wounds.
you'll feel no pains. On 5s.
That's 3 more saves, so I take 6 wounds. I'm down to 5 left.
Down to 5 left. You can't interrupt. There's the 3 Terminators that went charging in as well, but they're going to be hitting on 4s and only 2 of them hit. And they're going to be wounding on 4s, and they don't even manage to wound. Mortarion is going to be able to survive. He will be able to fight back before the Blade Guard potentially polish him off. Now we're going to come over here to my Terminators, attacking the Blightlord Terminators and the Master of Executions. I'm going to put 3 into the Master of Executions and all the rest into the Blightlord Terminators. Okay. Here are the attacks into the Master of Executions. I can spend a CP on Fury the First. Let's spend a CP on... Because see, Guilliman benefits Ultramarines for re-rolling hits and things like that. Against normal Imperium stuff, it's extra charges or advances or things. So he doesn't... Yeah, Fury the First is a thing. 3s to hit you with a hammer, Master of Execution dudes. And I can re-roll a hit against him. Yeah, let's re-roll a hit against him. Nope, doesn't help.
You're getting a +1 because my Helm of Brazen Ire means it's -1 to your wound roll.
Okay, so instead of wounding him on 4s, I'm wounding him on 2s, I'm wounding him on 3s.
Ooh,
that does help you. Does he have an invulnerable save?
It's a very good question.
Currently, my hammers are AP -3. No special saves. You need to make 2 6s to keep him alive. No.
He's dead.
I do manage to take out the Master of Executions. Now let's do the remaining attacks on the Blightlord. Here are the hammers on 3s. 3s to wound. They are Blightlord Terminators. Sorry, Death Shroud Terminators. They're very tough. You need to make 6 4-up saves, sir.
6 4-up saves.
Normally it would kill a Terminator, but you reduce all damage by 1. So that wipes 1 out. That wipes another 1 out. There's 1 left standing. And then my Sergeant has got 3 attacks, 2 Lightning Claws. Hits you with his Lightning Claws on 2s and will wound on 5s, re-rolling everything. Okay, that is 5 4-up invulnerable saves. Do I take out the last one? I do! I do take out the last one, and the brave and noble 13th manage to clear their lines. They jump over the barricade, shielding Guilliman, and point at the traitors in front of them and urge them to come forward onto our blades into their death. Meanwhile, over on the right flank, Mortarion gets to fight back. Now, on 5 wounds remaining, he's only got 5 attacks, and the Blade Guard have yet to strike him. However, There's the lion there on 2 wounds remaining. Surely one little attack needs to go into the lion. Surely.
One cheeky attack. I'll leave them till tomorrow. I
mean, are you scared of the Blade Guard? All their 2 damage attacks become 1 damage attack. I'm hitting you on 4s now, wounding you on 5s because you've got miasma. He can withstand the attack.
Are you taunting me?
I'm saying there's a Primarch there and it's last Primarch standing.
This is the dice that will kill Mortari. Or kill, not kill Mortari. This is the dice that will kill the lion.
Okay, right.
These 4 will go in the Blade Guard.
Okay. 2s to hit.
You asked for this.
Re-roll him because he buffed himself. This is the overhand swing, I take it.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. 4s to wound the Blade Guard, re-rolling those ones.
Oh, some ones.
Nothing went into the Blade Guard, which is interesting because none of those attacks would have hit the line as well. So this the dice that does it?
It hits.
It hits. He wounds on a 2.
It wounds.
Because Lionel Johnson is not transhuman.
Okay.
So what he's saying is there's a 4-up invulnerable save on the lion. Have I done any command point re-rolls yet? I'm not sure I have. 4-up on the lion. And he makes it. And then his magical shield can reflect back and do mortal wounds against you. I think I need a 6. That's not a 6. So the lion and Mortarion are toe-to-toe. The Blade Guard veteran now bring up their blades and try and stab Mortarion in the back. He's occupied. You won't be able to see this coming. 3s to hit, actually, because it stood still. You're -1 to hit. Yeah, normally it would be 2s.
Oh, okay.
And then 2s to hit to 3. Yeah, 5s to wound you. 4 wounds. 4 invulnerable saves. You fell 1. 1 feel no pain. That's really cocked.
Yay.
See, Mortarion loves it. Didn't take any damage. So at the end of that
Absolutely
fight there, yeah.
He's
There's
kind of whirling round.
the whirling round each other, stabbing, cutting, swearing, shouting, but no damage caused. Mortarion stood there while some Dark Angels are making their way down towards them. And over here, the first attack from the Death Guard failed. But you do have the CP to bring more Angron back in again.
Yeah, that's been going.
As we go on to Chaos, therefore. Enough blood has been spilt, enough skulls have been cracked open for Angron to return, and he's lining up a charge against Guilliman round this side of the battlefield, while the Death Guard know what's good for them and pull back. But talking about pulling back, Mortarion stepped back from combat, so he can't psychic, he can't do anything. Tell us what the plan is, Stylus.
Plan is, I don't know if this is a well-kept secret, but the lion's pretty handy in close combat.
He is,
Yeah. And he's going to go first this round.
He always goes first.
So if my psychics fail me, which this might do, then he's going first and he'll probably run me through.
He could. I mean, the only wounds that I put on Mortarion last turn were with the lion.
Yeah. So the better part of Valor, Mortarion's pulling back because the lion, in his eagerness for the kill, has walked right in front of my cannons.
Have I activated your trap card?
You have indeed. And of course, these have been lethal through the whole game.
Yes.
We see what they can do.
Yes.
So he's going to get a face full of entropy cannons. And before that, though,
yes,
this little henchman here, who you'd think, why bring in a Chaos Lord with a mere axe? What good can he do?
What good can he do?
What can he do? Well, this little thing attached to his belt happens to be the Plague Skull of Glothia.
Okay.
He will lob that 6 inches at the nearest thing.
Right.
I roll 7 dice. On 4 to 5s, it does a mortal wound. On a 6, it does D3 mortal wounds.
But he's only got 2 wounds left.
He throws the plague underneath the lion's feet, and he will die most ignominiously.
So 7 dice, Nurgle's number. Let's see if you can pull this off with this relic. Good luck. Looking for 4s.
Fire in the hole.
Oh, no.
That is just 2 mortal wounds.
And that is enough to take out the first Loyalist Primarch. Lionel Johnson is removed as a casualty.
Absolutely.
And goes back to the tea room for tea and biscuits.
Gets a hanky, blows his nose.
Yeah, we'll have a chat at the canteen after the fight and figure out, whether that was a cowardly manoeuvre by yourself or whether that was tactical genius. Comment below.
Now we'll open up with the tanks.
Right.
This one will go into them.
Okay.
So let's do the entropy cannons to begin with.
Yes.
I hit once. Wound.
I need a 5. I don't make a 5. That annihilates one of them.
Mortar.
6
now we're getting
shots
into it.
this time. Now you can see the whites of their eyes. They're right in front of you. 3s to hit.
Whoa.
Everything hits. 4s to wound. Re-rolling those ones.
Look at this. Where was this?
Is that 6 wounds?
That is 6 wounds.
6 4-up saves coming up. Each doing 2 damage. That blows up 1 more. Then you've got the stubby stub guns.
Stubby stub guns.
And 3 of them hit,
hit.
which will wound on 4s. They're not plague weapons.
1 wound.
And I take a wound as well. One's on 2 wounds remaining. And there's still another tank. What are we doing, Stylus?
Stubbies into that one, everything else into that one.
Okay, I like it.
Stubbies first.
Yes. 3 of them hit.
Hits.
4s to wound.
1
wound. That didn't hurt me. I'm fine.
Mortar.
Drop dice don't count. The mortar has 2 shots this time, and both of them hit. 4s to wound.
1 wound.
And I make the save.
3 entropy cannons, so they're clinging on there.
1 hit.
1 wound.
Doesn't wound.
Doesn't work because of course that's human.
Yeah.
In that case, we've got our Mephitic Blight Hall over there.
Okay.
He's going to put his missile launcher into there and the 2 melters into there.
Right, missile launcher then.
Hits.
Wounds on a 4. Doesn't wound. The 2 multi-melters into the blade guard. Both of them hit. Both of them wound. 4s or death at this range. One of them dies. That's pretty good shooting. There were 6 left there and a Primarch. Now there's only 3 left and no Primarch. I'm not bitter. Still have got some more firepower. The Death Guard over here are overcooking their plasma guns and firing everything down into this last remaining Terminator here.
Okay, 1 plasma. 2 plasmas. Okay, 1 doesn't die.
1 hits. Okay. 4s to wound. That's pretty cocked. It does wound. And I fail the save and 2 damage.
Yep.
It wipes him out, and the rest of the bolt gun shots pound into his twitching corpse. And that is the end of the shooting phase. Mortarion can't charge because he took a couple of steps back.
There's only 1 charge.
There's only 1 charge that means anything. You've got a CP again.
I have 1 more CP.
He can't fail. This is his 3rd charge in a row.
It is, and it's...
On an 8.
It's an 8.
To take Gulliman on.
Take Gulliman on. Here we go.
And
use that CP.
Here we go.
Come on,
4th charge in a row. And Angron fails the charge 1 more time. That is the end of Chaos turn 4. We've got 2 Primarchs to 1 now. Mortarion is on 5 wounds left. Gulliman is full and healthy, and it would be crazy to send him against Angron on his own, wouldn't it? Would it? It would. Let's send in the Terminators first as we go on to Imperium turn 5. Right, round here, Operation Revenge for the Lion is in effect. There's a stupid charge with this unit, but maybe the Blade Guard veterans will be able to take down Mortarion. And then round here, the 13th and Gulliman are going straight for Angron. I don't think I need to support the fight with Angron over here, so this last Cyclone missile launcher guy will fire them across into Mortarion at the other side of the battle grid and hit him on 4s, and I hit him both of the times.
4s? I'm not Masmid, but...
You're not Masmid? Well, I hit you both the times anyway.
I think I got 2, I think.
And I wound him once. And you fail the save. D6 damage.
Okay.
For 4 damage, which becomes 3 damage. Feel no pains. And Mortarion is on 3 wounds remaining. And the Blade Guard veterans right in front of him pull out their pistols and hit twice, but they're going to need 6s. And they don't wound. And over here, all of these have got close combat. So, no more shots. The only last shot that I have is Gulliman, pulling out his massive Gauntlet of Doom. The Hand of Dominion hits on 2s. Reroll 1s because he's, like, in range of himself. And it's strength 6. I win on 5s. That's 3 wounds at -1. So 3 3-up saves.
Good God.
Each of those does 2 damage.
Okay, so he's down to 2 wounds left.
Brilliant. It's the end of my shooting phase. Let's charge with the 13th. They get +1 to charge because they're next to Gulliman, and Gulliman will go charging in as well. Angron hasn't been having a great time of it, has he?
No, it's hard to say who got it worse, Magnus or Angron. But
yeah.
It's a bit of a race to the bottom.
Blade Guard veterans into Mortarion. And we make that charge. Right. Let's start with the veterans.
This could win it for you.
So no miasma, right?
No miasma.
So 3s to hit you. I hit you many times. 5s to wound you. It's a bit tense in there, isn't it?
No rerolls.
1 wound. Just 1 wound. He fails the save. That will be 1 damage. And he doesn't feel the pain. He's still on 3 wounds remaining. We can fight back with Mortarion while we're stood here.
5 choppy attacks?
Yes. 2s to hit. Overhand swing. Rerolling the 1s. And he hits 4 times. 2s to wound.
4 times?
Oh yeah, he hits 5 times, sorry.
Does he degrade his weapon skill? Or?
No, he always hits on 2s. He is a Primarch. Rerolling 1s, it's a plague weapon. Alright, I need to make 4 up and vulnerable saves to keep the Blade Guard alive. I don't keep the Blade Guard alive. Demon Primarch Mortarion consolidates a little bit closer forward. Now over here, Guilliman raises the Emperor's Sword and strikes out on Angron on only 2 wounds remaining, and he hits on 2s. And re-rolls because he's an ultramarine dude. He's going to wound on 3s. But he re-rolls because that's what he does. No 6s for those additional mortal wounds, but these are all 4 up invulnerable saves, and he needs to make them all. Angron makes the all. Because on 6s to wound, it does mortal wounds in addition, and I didn't get any 6s, and now... Okay. You can't bait interrupt, though.
No, okay, sadly, I'm going to get smushed.
Well, maybe the hammers... We'll see, because the back rank can't get through, so...
Come on, Red Angel.
I'm going to have to Fury the First them? Let's Fury the First them. Right, let's try and hit you. On 3s, re-rolling 1 of these, and with Whirlwind of Rage... 6s explode. How many 6s did I get?
3.
I got 3 6s. That's pretty good. Forced to wound him? Okay, now.
He's only toughness 7.
He's only toughness 12. 3s to wound him then. Right, try and make all of those 4 up and vulnerable saves, Angron. You're going down, I'm telling you. This is the 13th. The Fury of the 13th. You've got 10. Do you want to just take them?
Let's take them.
Take them.
They'll be rolling better than mine. Ooh, give it a good go.
And back to the warp one more time with Angron. But how many blood type points have you got?
I could bring it back twice over if I had to.
You can bring it back twice over. So basically, I've got to make sure that he gets knocked down at the end of a battle round, and you can't get him back.
Yes.
Otherwise, Angron will keep coming back and keep coming back until the job is done. At least Mortarion is only on 3 wounds remaining. So let's see what the Forces of Chaos do in turn 4 or 5? 5? Here we are after the Forces of Chaos movement phase. Mortarion is going in the wrong direction. Stylus, what's going on?
Being cunning.
Cunning?
This is how we shall win the day.
Okay.
Mortarion is not charging into that mess of hammers.
Why not?
Because it's a mess of hammers. They will make a mess of him.
They just want to be friends.
He's got 3 wounds left. He's backing away. The doughty Chaos, or the Slayer of the Lion,
yes,
Marcus Polio, is jumped in front of it, and he is going to take that on the chin.
He's going to defend his lord.
Yeah. But I've got cannons too to whittle them down as well.
Tanks.
But that's not the important thing. That is the key thing. That missile launcher.
All right.
That's the last range thing you've got.
It is, yes.
I've got 1, 2, 3 tanks and a Mephitic Blight Hauler and a squad of Plague Marines. And their one objective is to remove him.
He didn't fail a save last turn. He'll be fine.
It's turn 5.
He's blessed by the lion.
Do you know what turn I started shooting at him?
Turn 1?
Turn 1, yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime...
does it look familiar?
There's a Demon Primarch returned to the table.
Yay!
You know, it's only occurred to me I need to kill him at the end of your turn. So I want him to make the charge this turn and not kill Guilliman, and then Guilliman puts the last few wounds on him, and then at the end of the battle round he'll be dead. You see how that works?
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
But then if I kill him in my battle round, then I win. However, having said all that, if you kill Guilliman now, you win.
Yeah.
But he can't get back up again.
Oh, this is for all the beans.
Shall we go into the psychic phase?
Let's.
Miasma on a 6. That passes, so he's -1 to hit again.
Yes, and just a
Cheeky smite?
Leper, is that the range? Or is that...
No, you're in range, curse the leper.
Let's leper them.
That passes, so this is 7 dice, and on 4s, I'm going to lose Dark Angels. I lose 3 Dark Angels. That's better than a smite. Well, the same as a good smite. But
you lose one Dark Angel.
That's the end of the psychic phase. We're on to the shooting phase. I did make sure Guilliman is in 3 inches of these Terminators, so he can't be targeted. Nevertheless, the Plague Marines want to kill my Terminator, overcooking those 2 plasma one more time. One of them hits. And the second one hit. Both of them hit.
One of them wounds?
One of them wounds.
Finally.
I failed the save. He's on 1 wound remaining.
And then mini bolters.
3s to hit. 4 of them hit. 4s to wound.
3 of them wound.
3 2-up saves. He's okay. He's still on 1 wound remaining. Next, Mortarion pulls out the lantern, shoots the back unit on a 2.
Actually, before we do that,
yes.
He's going to bolt pistol because he might just take off that 1-on-1 wound.
Okay.
He hits. He wounds.
He does hit the 1-on-1 wound. Does he kill him? He doesn't kill him.
Well,
right, now we're doing the
lantern.
lantern.
Nothing. Lantern.
Hits
That one, and then you roll for the next one.
Well, you roll to wound that one, which you did, and then you roll to wound the one in front, which you do. Okay, so 4 up and Vun, 4 up and Vun. 4 up and Vun. No, you kill one of the guys in front as the beam weapon.
Splendid.
Power of 1,000 suns cuts through both of those Terminators there. More shots into the Terminators?
Before we do that, let's deal with this. I got a Blight Hauler, and I got that.
The Blight Hauler
Yes.
is going to fire at my last Terminator with a Cyclone Missile Launcher. You really don't like this guy. You hit him once. You don't wound him. Missile Launcher. Hits. Wounds on a 4. You don't wound him. You're going to have to put some tank fire into him.
Tank fire.
What? Everything from one tank?
Everything from one tank.
Okay.
Yeah. Mortar.
4 times mortar shells rain around him and only hit him once. Can it wound him?
Yes.
It can wound him. 4 up save. And he makes the save. He walks through fire. The entropy cannons, both of them hit.
Both of them wound. You can't survive this.
5+ invulnerable saves. And he survives it. He survives them both. What did you say? Don't never tell me the odds.
Stubbers. You will die by stubbers.
3 stubbers.
3 stubbers. 4s. I'm going to go the second.
2 of them slam in. 3 up saves. He's alive still. All the tank fire from one tank goes pounding in. Doesn't do anything. Clearly you're going to fire the next tank into this unit down here because there's no point in firing at him with a Cyclone Missile Launcher, right? No point.
Tank number 2.
Tank number 2,
and if that fails, I'm throwing the tank at you.
Here's the mortar
6.
shell.
Yes. Yes. Here we go.
It is raining blight and pus and shells that can rot open a Star Destroyer.
2 wounds.
4 up saves. He makes the saves. Entropy cannons. Both of them hit. 4s to wound. None of them wound.
It's a plague weapon.
It is a plague weapon. None of them wound, like we said.
Stub.
3 of those hit. 3 of the stubbers hit. 4s to wound.
Yes, 2 wounds.
2 wounds at -1, 2, 3 up saves. And he makes the saves. Rain, acid, entropy cannons fall around him and he just walks through fire. That's it for the shooting phase, apart from a couple of combi weapons firing out. A hero Dark Angel has emerged, just walking through fire. Now we're on to the charge phase. Did you say you're going to put your Rhino into my Terminators to tie them up?
Yes.
How rude.
I know, but that's the secondary thing.
That's the secondary thing?
Yeah, I don't want to get a really high roll on that and then regret it.
Right.
Right. And this won't matter, because when I kill Gulliman, it doesn't matter that he survived, because Gulliman will die.
If you kill Gulliman, you win.
I kill Gulliman, I win. You don't get back up again.
So this is the 5th time Angron is going to try and make a 5-inch charge.
Anyone would like to comment what the odds are of failing a 8-inch charge?
No idea.
With a reroll. But I've got my 1 command point saved up.
Again.
Here we go.
Yes.
Red Angel. Yes!
Yes, that's a 12. Finally, the Red Angel makes a charge into Gulliman, Lord Commander of the Imperium. Sending the Rhino in as well.
Yeah, let's send it as tired, just in case it survives one wound, you can't then beat me up. And that's a, yep.
I can't see it. That's a 6. You'll make the charge. We did the fight with the Rhino. No damage caused. I only have 1 CP, so I can't interrupt.
Okay.
So next, we're going on to Angron versus Gulliman. So, on the charge, Angron has 11 attacks. He's hitting on 2s.
Rerolling 1s.
He doesn't need the reroll.
Doesn't need the reroll.
He is Angron, Lord of the Red Sands,
Okay.
the Red Angel.
Mega
2s
strength.
to wound.
He's using his skull-taking slash bows, the big one.
Okay.
Winning on 2s.
Right. Gulliman's got 3 up and vulnerable save. I've got 1 CP for that all-important reroll. And this is D3 plus 3 damage,
D3
right?
plus 3 damage.
Command point reroll. No damage caused to the High Lord of the Imperium.
He bounced.
Let's fight back. That could have been the win, Stylus.
That could have been the win.
That could have been the win. Let's raise the Emperor's sword and strike down this demon and hit him every single time. I'm going to wound him on 3s and I reroll wounds. That's what we do. That's mortal wounds in addition.
Okay.
Oh dear. Yeah. 2 4+ invulnerable saves. And you fail them both.
CP
that is 6 damage.
I'll CP it anyway.
Okay, so that is 3 damage, and he does D3 extra wounds for 1 more Putting Angron down to 5 wounds remaining? 4 wounds remaining. Right, while these two brothers fight over here, I really need the 13th to crack open this Rhino. If I'm still in close combat with him, I won't be able to come back and rescue my Primarch. Okay? So I'm going to spend that CP I have on Fury of the First and hit a Rhino on a 3s. Let's re-roll a hit with Master Artisans, and there's 2 6s in there because I really need it dead. 3s? 7 6-up saves? No, that's enough. Each doing 3 damage. It doesn't blow up. I do manage to crack open that Rhino, which means I can hop back over the wall and try and save Guilliman. As we go on to the Imperium's turn, I think it might be turn 5 or 6, but we're going to keep going until there are no Primarchs left standing. Okay, in my movement phase, not a lot happened. This unit moving forward to charge the guy who grenaded the lion from behind. The second unit went running forward, and my Terminators are heading in to try and support Guilliman. But none of these guys have guns. The only long-range fire I have left is this guy over here.
Oh, look.
Who's taken all the anti-tank fire. Will he be the one to take down Mortarion? You did get Miasma of Pestilence off.
I did.
So I am hitting you on, well, I stood still, so 2s to hit, so 3s. And I hit both times. Are you ready?
That's Mortarion for you.
That's all that disease and stuff. It's terrible, isn't it? Yeah. 1 wound. 1 minute. I got a command point this turn. Let's spend it on the command point. 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
2 4+ invulnerable saves. Drop dice don't count. Sneezes happening all over the place. Will Mortarion be able to withstand the firepower?
I have no command points. 1 gets through.
1 gets through.
1 gets through.
He's got 3 wounds remaining. He does shrug and reduce damage by 1, so this needs to be high. And that's a 1. That's not high. He shrugs it anyway. He's still on 3 wounds remaining. Now we're going to charge. This unit is going to try and charge both.
Okay.
I think I need something really high, and that isn't going to be enough. But the Terminators are auto in against Angron. Thunderhammers to the face time. On 4s, re-rolling one of these, and 6s explode. 3s to wound him, and 4 up and vulnerable saves. Or he falls back into the warp 1 more time. He falls back into the warp 1 more time.
I have no CP.
No.
Oh.
But how many blood? You've got enough blood tithe to bring him back in, because this isn't the end of the battle round. That is the end of Imperium. Turn 5 or 6 or 7, whatever turn that we're on. And I'm sure that we'll see Angron again for round 5. Right, this time at the end of the Chaos movement phase, there is a change of tack. There was no space for Angron to deep strike in here and hit Guilliman with 1 straight charge. So instead, Angron's appeared over the other side of the battle grid, and all the Death Guard have moved around there as well. It looks like both of the Primarchs are going to make a concerted effort to remove the last of the Dark Angels, not including my hero Cyclone Missile Launcher guy down here. And if you do manage to clear all of the Dark Angels away, then it'll just be Guilliman stood over here on his own. You're running out of blood left to be spilt across this battle grid.
Yeah.
So this might be the last time that Angron gets to return as well.
Yeah, there is a saying, if you fail first, second and third time at what you're doing, try something different.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't working.
So this time he's going to go jumping in on the Dark Angels. But you do have a psychic phase 1 more time.
I do, yes.
So you want to miasma up Mortarion.
I do.
1 more time. Try and keep him alive.
I want to move him so he's closest to that unit.
Right, okay.
They're going to get cursed.
They're going to get cursed, okay.
First miasma, that's the important.
Yes. Miasma goes off.
And now Curse of the Leper on them.
Curse the Leper does not go off. After the psychic phase, the remainder of the Death Guard round here, the Crawler and the Plague Marines, fired into the unit of Terminators on the left and managed to take one of them out. And that's it for the shooting phase, except for the 2 big tanks. Where are you putting 2 big tanks? There's no point shooting my Cyclone Missile Launcher guy down here. We've already established that. You might as well try and whittle away the Dark Angels right in front of your lines. Right? Right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm not right. I think I'm a bit wrong. No, you're wrong. You're Chaos.
I'll do the...
I'm Imperium. I'm right.
Entropy cannons and the heavy stubber against that guy. and the mortar against them.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
Okay.
Stubbers, let's take him out. No.
They will miss.
One hit. It wounds.
It does wound?
It does wound.
And make the save.
Okay, but the entropy cannons are what we're waiting for. No,
Both miss.
Right. Mortar.
One shot with the mortar, which hits and wounds. I need to make a 3 on a storm shield guy, and I make the 3 on the shield guy. So one tank just fluffs.
The tanks have been fluffing the whole game.
Yeah. Who would ever have 3 of them, right? Where are you going to put the second one?
It's all going into him.
All going into Cyclone Missile guy.
Cyclone Missile guy.
Okay.
Stubbers.
2 hits. Force to wound.
Nothing.
No wounds.
That's not plague, is it?
No.
No. Entropy cannons. 2 hits.
Okay. Force to wound.
This feels familiar. 1 wound.
1 wound.
Come on.
It's AP minus a bajillion. I need to make a 5-up save. He makes a 5-up save. He's absolutely fine. D6 mortar shot.
There we go. He
6.
cannot survive 6. Not 6 he can't.
Well, you say that.
Okay.
The 4 of them rain down around him.
Okay.
They wound him on 4s. And he re-roll any 1s. Did you get any 1s?
I got a 1-1.
So I see 1 wound.
Through, yeah.
AP minus 2. He needs a 4 or death. I don't have any CPs. That's a 5. Of course he's alive. 2 rounds of shooting into him with tanks, causing no wounds whatsoever. That is the end of the shooting.
Yeah.
Now we have some charges from some Primarchs. First up, this guy can't fail. He'll just go straight in there. Where are we going next?
We'll do Angron.
Okay, he needs an 8.
Now he makes
That's a 10. Angron goes in.
Mortarion will go into those guys.
And Mortarian's got 4. He's definitely not more than 5 away. He makes the charge as well. Starting with Angron, of course. Otherwise, he'll get mad if we go first with the other guys. 11 attacks with his skull, taking slash.
Skull taking slash.
Hitting on 2s, re-rolling the 1s.
Wounding on 4s there.
Yeah, force to wound. We are tough. But each failed save will kill 1. Is that 5? 5 storm shield saves coming up. Angron clears the squad. Angron consolidates forward, then Mortarion strikes out with the eviscerating blow on 2s, and he hits every single time. He'll wound on 4s and re-roll those 1s.
3 make it through.
3 make it through. I've got storm shields again, and I failed 2 of them. 2 of my guys die, and there's still 2 Deathwing facing Mortarion. What now?
We've not forgotten the attendant's claws and teeth.
Everyone forgets the attendant's claws and teeth.
Here they come, scrabbling out. D6 attacks. 5 attacks.
Okay. And they hit on 2s, the teethy teeth.
Ones.
Yeah. That model has been improved.
Yeah. Toughness 3, so you will wound on re-rolling that. 2s.
I make the save.
Yes.
Okay.
You've got 2 to save.
2 to save.
Yep.
I make both of the saves. Right, then we'll pile in. Right, Mortarion's on 3 wounds remaining, right?
Yep.
That's my sergeant. So sergeant, claws, shock assault will hit Mortarion, okay?
Okay.
I stood still, so 3s to hit you. Are you miasmed?
I did get miasmed.
Yes. And then 6s to wound, re-rolling everything.
I turn off the reroll.
Oh, he does. He turns it off.
Turn it off.
Okay, the hammer to the face. Hits you twice. We'll wound him on 4s. Doesn't wound him. And that is the end of Chaos's turn 5 or 6.
Can I tell you my favourite part?
What?
Is that now he's locked in combat, that guy can't shoot him this turn.
Him?
Yeah.
Damn it, yeah. But I will be able to shoot Angron.
I don't care as long as he can't shoot Mortarion.
In my turn, the 13th come running forward with Gulliman. Missile launcher guy fires 2 missiles in at Angron and hits him both times because it's heavy and I stood still.
Yeah.
And I wound him on 3s. And I wound him both times.
4 up saves.
And he makes 1, fails 1.
I do have a command point left.
He's got 8 wounds at the moment, so I can't kill him.
No, I'll take the hit. How bad could it be?
But I can do 1 damage. Stormbolters, hit twice. Don't wound. Let's do Gulliman's Hand of Dominion. I'm not in rapid fire range. And I can re-roll hits. And I'm going to wound him on 5s and I can re-roll wounds. So 3 more wounds on Angron. And that is a total of 6 damage. Actually, the Hand of Dominion is only AP -1 in shooting. So in the end, there's 3 wounds remaining on Angron. And I'm too far away for some charges. So now we fight. And defenders get to fight first. Are you ready?
I think I'd like to heroically intervene.
Heroically? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Damn it.
And I'm a defender, aren't I? So I would fight first.
Oh, yeah, you are the defender. You do get to fight first. Who do you want to fight first with?
I think Angron would.
I think it has to be Angron. Angron hits on 2s. Angron wounds on 4s. Okay.
That is...
Well, many Storm Shield saves. You cleared the squad. So we're about to go into the Forces of Chaos turn. I have 9 Terminators left, 10 Terminators left, 1 in green, 9 in blue, and Guilliman.
Chaos icon. That's not a Terminator.
He's not a Chaos.
That's a missed thing from the war.
He's blessed by the Emperor. It's nothing unholy going on here. And facing them, rampaging down the street towards them, is 2 Demon Primarchs as we go into Chaos's turn. This is the end of the movement phase and the Forces of Chaos are closing in for the kill. The characters rampaging down the street while tank fire rains over their heads and the Death Guard on the left flank throw in some firepower as well. First we have a psychic phase.
Mortarion.
Miasma doesn't go off.
I do have 2 CP. I think I'm going to need Miasma.
Okay. Miasma does go off. Curse of the Leper.
The Leper on the Terminators.
And that goes off as well.
7 dice on 3s.
4s.
Because it's
2. That is only 2 mortal wounds, but one of the Terminators was down to 1 wound remaining. I'll put the other one on the claws guy. That is the end of the psychic phase. Now let's shoot some guns. Okay, you're going to start the shooting phase by trying to kill the Cyclone Missile Launcher guy again one more time.
There is no try. There is only plasma.
There is no try.
There is no try.
Do. Okay, Yoda.
I'm not overcooking.
Here's the plasma.
2 plasma shots. 1 hit.
Wounds on a 4.
Wounds on a 4.
It doesn't wound him. Okay, of course it doesn't.
Okay, many bolter shots.
Okay.
This will do.
Can we just agree that this guy just never dies? And...
2 shots, 2 wounds at no AP.
And that he's going to be the glory guy that takes out one of the Primarchs. 2 up saves. He's alive.
Okay.
What else you got?
Yeah, the Mephitic Blight Hole is going to take
anti-tank fire into him.
Do I want to do that? Is this pouring water down a hole?
I think like you are pouring water down a hole. I think it's all about these Terminators and killing Guilliman, surely.
Surely. Okay. It is about that and don't call me Shirley.
Don't listen to witness.
It's all about that and don't call me Shirley. I'll do it. I'm going to shoot the 13th. That guy is clearly a warp anomaly that we will be recruiting later on because he's gifted by Zinch.
He's a fallen or something,
These
right?
guys going into the 13th.
Okay.
These are multi-melters.
Okay.
2 see, they hit them.
Yeah. 2's to wound.
2's to wound. There we go. That's
okay. 4 up. Storm Shield saves. I make 1 fail 1. At this range, you nuke the guy. Okay. Missile launcher. Hit. Wound. -1 because of the wall. And I make that save.
Okay.
You have got the Lantern. It's a 3 damage weapon. Will kill a Terminator. Again, no point firing him.
I'll save it for him. These guys will go into the 13th, and the Lantern will be saved for that.
So tanks into the 13th.
Tanks into the 13th. I may as well do them all because that's all they get.
Okay, yeah, let's do them all together then. Do you want to do 4 entry cannons? 1 hit. And it wings. 4 up and Vun. I failed in Vun. That will nuke 1. Okay, 2d6 with the mortars is 5 shots with the mortars. Missiles raining down from the sky. All of them hit. Is a wound on 2s. And reroll 1s. And an AP -2. Becomes -1 because of my storm shields. I need 3s. That kills another 1. And then stubbers.
Sluggers, rather.
Sluggers, yeah.
That is only 2. Comes through, -1.
Oh, make those saves. Another one?
1.
I'm okay. Then Marcus Polio.
Marcus Polio.
Slayer of the Lion. His pistol came in as well and put 1 wound on the Terminator. So I've got 5 Terminators left, a green Terminator left, and Guilliman. And Mortarion has the Lantern.
Mortarion is going to light up that guy's life.
This guy.
Indeed.
I will illuminate you. He hits. And he
Doesn't
doesn't wound.
Of course he doesn't.
And that is the end of the shooting phase. Now what you want to do is put Angron into him and him alone, not into Guilliman.
Angron is going into Guilliman.
Is he?
He is.
Okay, good luck. And that is a 7-inch charge, which becomes an 8-inch charge. That's a successful charge. And Mortarion only needs a 4 to engage the Terminators if he wants to go in against them.
He does.
And that's a successful charge as well.
Plague Marines will go in as well.
Yeah,
this is for all the beans.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone!
No, they don't get
Worth
it.
a reroll, I think, if I get them in.
Well, you've got 1 CP left. I've got 1 CP left, and I don't know about you, but I was keeping it for an invulnerable save reroll just in case. It's up to you, though. Hashtag don't listen to winners. I said that already.
I've got a flail. I've got a fist. I could clean them out, and you can't interrupt, so I'm doing it.
Oh, no.
I only need to make it to the wall.
You do, yes. And you make it to the wall. Okay, so I can't interrupt. We're going to save the Guilliman Angron fight for last.
Yeah.
So do you want to pile in with the Plague Marines first?
Let's pile in with them, because that way you can't escape me.
Okay. So we have 7 Plague Marines, the blessed number of Nurgle, fighting my 5 Terminators. Starting off with the Flail of Corruption. And you hit on 3s, and you reroll that 1. Mortarion is stood next to you. Brilliant. And these are wound on 3s at strength 5, toughness 3.
4 cut through.
At -2, I need 4 up saves, each doing 2 damage. 1 was injured. 1 is now down to 1 wound remaining. Plague Knives now come stabbing in on 3s, rerolling the 1. And these are wound on 3s because contagions is a thing. And reroll those 1s again because of plague weapons. 4 Terminators remain. I need to make 3 up saves. I don't. So he's gone. Then there's 3 attacks from the Power Fist. 4s to hit. Everything hits. 2s to wound. Everything wounds. 4+ invulnerable saves. The Power Fist takes down another. And there's 1 Terminator on 1 wound remaining, 1 on full health as Mortarion raises silence and sweeps down his scythe.
So we're going to do our reaping cut.
Why?
Because there's only 4 wounds to get.
But the overhanging one is cooler.
The overhanging one is cooler, but you've got your invent save, so I'm going to hit I've got -2 on reaping, so I'm going to get close to it anyway.
But it'll become -1 because I have Storm Shields. So I'll have 3 up saves.
I'm going to have to count out 5 dice now then.
Okay.
Don't listen to Winters.
Everything, well, reroll the 1.
Everything hits.
5 hits. 2s to wound. Reroll the 1.
Maybe you're right.
Okay, so I need to make 5 4+ invulnerable saves to keep my Terminators alive. I don't make 5+ invulnerable saves. They get cut in half by Mortarion. He chooses not to consolidate into Guilliman, mainly because Angron elbows him out the way and says, "Here's mine." And I've got 2 models left remaining as Angron strikes down at Guilliman. Angron will hit on 2s.
And reroll the 1?
Yes. And he's wounding on 2s.
The 2s?
2s.
Yes, because it's massive.
He's like strength 16 or something.
Okay.
Okay.
There are 8 to save.
Corn's number, huh? I've got a 3 up invulnerable save. Now, if I fall over, it ain't all over because I can get back up at the end of the phase mainly.
It's not the round.
Maybe. And I've got 1 CP. 3+ invulnerable saves coming up. Oh dear. He does D3 + 3, right?
He does.
So he could potentially kill Guilliman. So let's CP reroll that. It doesn't help me. Okay, D3. So it's 6 plus 2D3.
Yeah, so I need to make a 3.
Yes.
Knock him down.
Yes.
So he's then taken 6. Many.
Don't roll snake eyes. It took Angron a long time to get here.
And this is a damage roll, isn't it? And I've got a CP.
This is damage roll.
Okay. Here we go.
That's just enough to knock Guilliman down, leaving 1 brave Dark Angel stood there. Do you want to consolidate into him? He's got Power Fist. He can hit Angron back.
I think we should let him have his go.
I mean, Angron wouldn't break back down from close combat with just a little inner circle Deathwing guy, would he?
Absolutely not.
And Angron's on 3 wounds remaining.
He is.
What's the worst that could happen?
Who can say?
I hit you with a Power Fist on 3s. I hit you both of the times.
What have I done?
I wound Angron on 3s. I wound him both of the times. Don't fail both of the 4 up and runs. Please don't. You fail 1. Angron is on 1 wound remaining. And, well, last Primarch standing.
So what's he need to get up on?
On a 4.
On a 4.
At the end of the phase.
That's game.
At this game. If he doesn't get up, well, technically Angron and Mortarion need to punch each other, but...
yeah.
50-50 chance for him to get back up.
Good luck.
He doesn't get back up. And this is the way the world ends. Well, it took Angron about 5 attempts to get there, but he got there in the end. There was some cowardly behaviour from your behalf, though. I like blowing up my Primarchs with grenades and things.
Indeed, yeah.
We were in close combat over here, having an honourable duel.
Yeah. And
you backed out with your Primarch.
You ran all your buddies in as well. It's kind of messing up the field. There was no single combat there.
Well, because we're brothers. We fight together, you see.
Yeah.
You're like selfish and stuff, and you're like... But we're trying to help each other. And
well, if you see me, the Lion was the latest model to come out. He's the younger brother, and we all know what happens to the younger brother. So
yeah,
big boys ganged up on him,
took him down.
See, I would say this was a great Death Guard victory. Because they're mostly Death Guard troops left on them. Or Tyrion used his cunning to hang in there.
Yeah.
But given the performance of the Death Guard tanks, I'm deducting 10 points from them each.
Yeah.
Or that thing, that
what
Chaos Mutant.
He's not a Chaos Mutant. He's the Emperor protects.
Maybe he was the Lion, really.
I am Alfarius.
He's going to throw off his hood.
The last Primarch left standing is Alfarius, and he punches him and then runs off the table and da-da-da. Okay, so, that is not the way I expected it to... See, the thing is, with the ability to bring Angron back and the ability to get Guilliman back and some long-range firepower that happened earlier on, I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah, I think Angron needs to come back, though, because with the fact they can't be screened, they're so squishy, with the exception of Mortarion, who can make himself harder to shift.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Magnus can make himself minuses to hit, and Magnus can heal himself, so he's got the tanky ability. Yeah. Mortarion is just a tank.
Yeah.
So yeah, he needs something to come back. And they've written it into the lore as well. In the Arcs of the Omen book, he gets knocked... Basically, when Khorne sends Angron in, because he is the avatar of Khorne, to kill something, to do something, he will keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And even his body is shredded apart. There's a nice bit in the Angron book for the Arcs of Omen, which is like, you can feel the quiet power of Khorne behind him after he dies. And he feels like, finally... Finally, I can stop fighting. And Khorne basically picks him up and throws him back into the fight and says, nope, keep going.
Well, as we've seen, even bringing him back doesn't guarantee he'll do much.
Well, particularly when he failed 5 charges in a row or whatever it was. He's supposed to go flying in there and slaughter everything he hits. And to be fair, if you weren't going up against Dark Angels with Transhuman, which you can't do if you use the balanced data slate, but obviously there was nothing balanced about this game whatsoever. But if you weren't going against Dark Angels, he would have been rinsing through everything he hit anyway.
Yeah.
And so would have Mortarion. So I think in the end, it turned out to be, well, it was a crazy game of ups and downs. You have some heroes born. I have some heroes born. This guy's got himself a name. I'll need to write it on the bottom. And thanks for coming down.
Good game.
Your Instagram, Wolfbolt Chronic, what?
No, it's just Stylus40k.
Stylus40k?
Yes.
Okay, Stylus40k on the Instagram, because you put on loads of pictures. I love all the X-Men stuff and all the superhero stuff that you've been painting recently.
Bit of Marvel, very nice fun.
Bit of Marvel, I love it. So that's on there. The battle mat is from urbanmats.com and all of this glorious terrain, apart from the resin stuff that you see and the scratch built stuff. But all urbanmats.com for the battle mat and the terrain. Thank you. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to support me, if you'd like to get extra videos and come and join my Discord and things like that, then consider becoming a channel member. In the meantime, happy wargaming.